Happy Monday. Hey, Mamir. I know it's early. I have it scheduled for later. And of course, the one day that I'm super freaking early. I'm like, oh my God, I have it scheduled for 12:30. And then I'm going to be sitting here doing, like, twiddling my thumbs and going crazy. I'm like, let me put it back to 12:05. And then people are going to be really mad at me for doing all that. So I'm not going to rush into it real quick. But hello, Mamir. Let me turn on Instagram. Go live. I think we are live. Yes. Let me tell them when to come over here. Come over to YouTube. Anyway, all right, so it is Monday. We are doing Whose Side Are You On? Reality with Krista Marie. I'm Reality with Krista Marie, by the way. This is Whose Side Are You On podcast with Real Housewives of Miami. The last 2 episodes, because I missed last week because I was not in the mood for it. So I watched both episodes and I realized that, like, literally I was going to skip through 15, but hey, Danielle, thank you for being here. Danny Gossip Girl, please follow her, guys, on Instagram, and on YouTube. She has a channel, and we're going to probably make it a podcast soon because she's that amazing if she hasn't done so already. But please follow her on Instagram, all that stuff, where we're I changed the time. Oh, there I'm back. Okay. So I really, to 1000%, standing by that Miami is the best franchise on right now, as far as, like, not toxic and enjoyable to watch, conflict resolution. No matter what we're watching, like, no matter what arguments, even though Lisa's a huge Karen and we're gonna have to take care of her and all, but, like, they get through it so we can enjoy the show, like, so they can keep on filming, and you can genuinely see that they do want to move on, because if anything, they could have taken this whole Anna thing and completely screwed it. Like, completely screwed it. They could have brought her on. All those ladies could have jumped on the bandwagon, and they didn't. What did they do? They said, screw it. The second they realized, they even gave Adriana a pass, which was, like, shocking to me. But by the time saying, if this happens, we're gonna be back to, you know why it's toxic. I say this all the time, because they make it to a point where these ladies don't fucking like each other. They don't hang out on after filming and between filming. So when they do film, they have to force them to go on vacations and day trips and dinners and make them play a game, truth or dare, who's gonna throw who off the wagon, all that shit. And they make remember exactly, and they make it toxic because they have no choice. OC, conflict resolution, like I said, we don't have that on Jersey. We definitely don't have that on Jersey because we don't like to let shit go. I mean, that's our fault. It's also Bravo's fault, but we don't like to let shit go. But, like, I'm watching it and I'm like, I even learned from, like, Manny and, like, you younger folk out here, because, like, when you guys come on, like, your perspective's fresher, and I realize it's, like, the younger generation doesn't hold on to everything. Hey, Shay, I guess we're just, like, jaded, or maybe me. I won't say we, I'll say me. Because even though, like, me and Manu have completely opposite opinions, I realize it's because he doesn't hold on to things and stuff. I don't know. And that, like, he's kind of like, I don't know if it's that it. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to, like, literally learn, I guess, from watching Miami, because the fact that, like, even with Beverly Hills, as much as we can't stand what Erica's doing, I like, she's a horrible person and everything. It's like the fact that she's literally willing to, like, they're willing to get over all of their shit instead of like harping on her. See, if Lisa Rinna was still there, that wouldn't be happening. Nobody would be able to move on. Like, Kyle's just happy that we're not talking about her marriage. But I guarantee by the time we get to the reunion, they're so pissed off that literally we didn't even touch on all the things that are in the press about Mauricio until the finale. No. But like with Miami, back to Miami. Yeah, I'm going to recap a little bit because I really think it's important. Because Lisa, like, no matter what, I'm not on Lisa's side. She, by the time it got to the end of that episode, the last week, and then this episode, I'm like, she doesn't even get it. I don't even think she still doesn't even get it. And I guess they're just like, and Keke is just willing to move on. Like, Keke, it gives these ladies too much of a pass. Because Lisa should have never opened her effing mouth and the words come out of her mouth being, I can't heal your childhood trauma. I'm sorry. We can't heal your fucking trauma with Lenny. And when the hell does childhood trauma have to do with what we're screaming and yelling about? Like, the fact that you have no idea what she's trying to say to you. You were ignorant to the fact that you were sitting on this gondola, which I guess we can start the episode because that's where the argument stems from. On the gondola, and you want to make comments about people's homes and, oh, we know how rich you are, Lisa. We know, like, you know what? And like, you said that your parents are very old fashioned. They probably just don't like you. I mean, I hate to say it. Like, I'm not, for once we find out what the hell goes on in her personal life, like besides like with her parents. And I guess like her mom coming to tell us a lot. Because I don't ever remember seeing Lisa's family ever. So it was a little bit okay, a little bit of insight, but not really, because it didn't really tell us much, because her entitlement still doesn't matter. Is she an only child? Maybe, I don't know. And Alexia saying that she went from, I guess I was rewatching episode 20. She goes from, her parents buying her a car to Herman buying her a car to her ex-husband buying her other ex-husband buying her, Todd buying her car. It's like Lisa's almost the same way. Like, it's like she said she went from one person living with her parents to she lived with one boyfriend, I guess. And then before she even broke up with that boyfriend, she had a place to go with the other boyfriend, which I think is Lenny. Because I think she's been with Lenny ever since, right? So, they still stand by the fact too that, like, I have a theory about Lenny packages. Oh my God, what is your theory? Well, I mean, can somebody tell me something? So when somebody has plans on a website, and maybe it's somebody that they custom drew these plans, right? So do you sell them on a website, or do you just say, I'm not going to use these? Here's the the designer or the contractor. Does the contractor have like a set of plans? Say each contractor has like a set of like 7 plans they can make of a kind of a house. Or do you pick a contractor or designer, whoever this person is that they have in common, designer? Like, how did that, like, is there like millions of plans that are just laying around? Like, tell me what the hell how that works. Because is that like, what is a coincidence? Like, what are the chances of that happening? Like, say they both have the same designer and that designer only has 4 different plans they can do. That wouldn't be that much of a coincidence. The coincidence would be like the plans are owned by the architect who designed them. So what if Jody designed it? Or did he help design it? Like, so when she says they have the same taste, right? Like, Lenny sure as heck didn't pick up. So I don't know. So it's not that much of a coincidence, right? So if the architect just has this designs that he has for, bayfront properties, or he looks like he lives on Star Island. It looks like it's Star Island. It's on the waterfront. So maybe it's not Star Island, but maybe each designer can only do a certain amount of home, like certain types of homes, because they all kind of look the same, but they're beautiful. I wouldn't know a $1 million home from a $60 million home. I wouldn't know the difference, except for maybe size. But Lenny is hoping Jody and Lisa will break up, and then Lisa will have Jody's dream house. Lenny is hoping. Wait, what is your Lenny is hoping that Jody and Lisa will break up, and then Lisa will have to. Well, what does he care? Why would he care? I don't know why he picked them. Like, I don't think that's it. I don't think he cares that much about them. I thought maybe to make it easier on them. I thought, if anything, he did it purposely to be nice. To be like, oh, we already know that he likes this house, or she likes, I don't know. Wait, because he doesn't even want Lenny to live. He doesn't even want Jody to live there. This is weird. Because that can't be it at all. Because remember, he was like, I don't want no man's allowed to live with you. So why would he pick those? So like, is it just it had to be an accident. It had to be accidental, right? But anyway, we can talk about it in a minute. But like, so yeah, first of all, so the gondola, okay, they're approaching this thing, and we have the fact that we know that Lisa has already made these comments that like she these dogs that she sees are, they've eaten better. We know she was a complete Karen. We know all this, right? But she's not helping her situation because she's still taking pictures of people. Gertie starts to get nauseous, okay? And they're all going to the bathroom. They have to get off and go to the bathroom, okay? They're called the Vincent Price Motel Doll Graveyard. I don't know. Julia obviously shouldn't be looking over there because it just reminds her of dead babies, which it is, a bunch of dead babies. And another thing, Julia, why does Marital keep referring to Alexia as bro? Me and bro shouldn't be here, or me and bro. Like, she keeps saying me and bro. And she's talking about her friend. Like, she's talking about Alexia, right? Like, me and bro. Like, I don't know. I like Marital now. I just didn't like her weird calling her bro comment. Like, me and bro shouldn't be here. Or, me and bro are stuck here. It's like, I'm out here, Sterling Marie. Say hi, Sterling Marie. Say hi, Sterling Marie. Me and bro shouldn't be here. And I'm just like, please stop saying bro. I love you, but stop saying bro. Lisa and Larsa get off the boat. They walk through the graveyard of broken things. I just keep calling it weird. I don't even know what it is. I know there's a spiritual element to it or something, which is cool. I just feel it's just creepy. And then the guy did say they are haunted. The dolls are haunted. And once you tell me the dolls haunted, I'm out. Listen, I am all about Toy Story 3. My husband thinks it's hilarious that I still have all my stuffed animals. Even though they're in a bag, I have ones that I have rescued from the trash cans. My neighbors have thrown out those huge stuffed animals that we get on the, I live near the boardwalk down the shore. So like, they have those big stuffed animals that are like life size. I've seen lots of them thrown in the trash. I've saved 3 of them. I have a purple dinosaur. I have a big, huge blue, I guess he's a dinosaur. He's outside. He's now a seat outside. And the gazebo, I use him as a, cause he's broken. All his little stuff, he's falling out. So I have him in like a little like baggy thing where you can still see his face, but he's like a little like seat that you can sit on, like, cause he's that huge. So yeah. And then I have ones in the basement that I refuse to throw out. So yeah, but I don't like dolls. And the dolls that we had in this house that were George's sisters, given to George's sisters, I had to make her come get them because they were Annabelle dolls. So I don't blame these women for not wanting to get off into the hotel, motel, Vincent Price graveyard. They had dead babies with like stuff written on their faces. That was just weird. Like, I could see if like you had to give a doll to a child that was supposed to be there or something, the story that they had given. Yeah, like, bro, it's like, it's like me and bro shouldn't be here. It's like, did she say that? She said that. And it's like, bro, I like you, Marital now, but like, bro is just a weird thing to say. But so they get off and they go to the bathroom, and obviously, so by the time the women are done going to the bathroom, it's a shame because Julia does end up looking over and like her, hey Terry, love you, miss you, thank you for being here. Terry, remind me to ask you and Aaron about something, because I know you guys watch scripted TV, and guys, I just watched Saltburn. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just not gonna say anything. I don't even have words for that movie. Okay. Exactly. Do they? See, that's the thing. Like, I don't like to throw stuffed animals out, and I don't want to know that they're going in the trash. And some of the ones I do have are like the ones George has given to me over the years. But like I do have ones from when I was a kid. I have actually a pillow it's like a pillow. It's just a little pillow, and it's like it has a cat on it. It's like a print of a cat that my grandma made me when I was born, and I had it my entire life, and I'll never get rid of it ever. But yeah, I have this thing. I don't like. I'm not a hoarder. I do have a hard time throwing things away, but like I realize inanimate objects do have consciousness. I know that now, so that's my problem. But like, yeah, I can't see stuffed animals in trash. But like, I did think about giving them to like I don't know, like if different um shelters and stuff would take stuffed animals because they do have a lot of kids there. But I wouldn't want them to get lost and ruined, and I don't know. Tobin. That's right. Has Tobin come in yet? Tobin just might like to be outside. Terry, we got to tell you about Tobin. Mimir has Tobin. She's like us. She will take in the cats. So you just took a really cute one in too. My cats don't have stuffed animals. They have they have pur pets, but they stay in their beds. But they have this thing that goes around in circles that they play with and stuff. But yeah. I have the stupid see the mine aren't new. Some of the ones I've rescued out of the trash, I'm telling you, I have a hard time seeing stuffed animals in the trash can. Toy Story 3 didn't do it for me. I've been like that my whole life. Toy Story 3 didn't help. When they're all standing by the fire holding hands, oh my god, I can't think about it. Because you just I don't know. Everything has your energy on it. So they do become conscious at some point. He still lives outside. Is it cold? Is he good though? Helen is the new one. That's what her name is, Helen. How do we all become? Are we all been cat people? I think I was only a cat person within the last 3 years. I was always a dog person, which is kind of weird because dogs tell the cops where your dogs are. Like you would think I'd be on cat people. Oh, sorry, Mel. Sorry, you meant to kick you. Come here, I meant to kick you. But now like my cats are my children, and you know what's weird? I realize that now. I did have cats because we lived on a farm, right? So I had a cat when I was very little. She was a kitten. Me and my cousin both picked one out. Hers lived to be 18 or 19. My cat Freckles died within like a couple weeks, right? So I think that might have traumatized me to make me a dog person. But then over the years, I had taken, when I was living on my own, I would take in cats here and there, which was strange because they would always find me somehow. Never thought anything of it randomly throughout the years. And then I would, give them away, or I would move back home or whatever. And then I'm here and we have the dog, right, for all this time. George has a cat, which is Meow Meow. You never see Meow Meow, but she's 14. But then I lose my dog a year ago, a little over a year and a half ago. And all of a sudden now I'm a cat person. And like, you see how I am with my cats. Come here, please. Like I have 4 inside now and 2 outside. So yeah. So that whole thing didn't even it did not faze me seeing all that. It was just when Julia saw that. So that was my whole point. So by the time Larsa and Lisa get back, Julia's having a whole meltdown. Gertie is throwing up. Gertie's starting to feel nauseous, right? I put side note, fucking asshole Lisa. I have something, I don't know. She must have said something that made me mad. But anyway, so Gertie's sick and they're all Julia's crying. They're holding her. Alexi is crying. And Lisa's taking pictures. And Larsa, they're yelling. And even Larsa at some point is like telling Lisa to hurry up. Lisa's like taking pictures. She's literally taking pictures with the people that are making she's such a carrot. She is taking pictures with those people, the ones that came up on with the mariachi band. It's a shame. Gertie's throwing up. She has goddamn cancer. Okay. And Lisa is taking pictures and talking to the people and like just acting like, not shutting them up. They could have stopped the mariachi band. Gertie is so sick. And of course, like, I don't, who knows? Like anybody who's getting ready to have treatment, you need to like pay attention when they're sick. Like she was dehydrated. That's not good. Thank God they have the ambulance that meet her right there because by the time they all get to the Sprinter van, of course, Lisa's still being a Karen. She's still, hi, thank you, in my opinion, for being here. Have you seen the latest, by the way, in my opinion, I am not going to we're not going to talk about it here, but the latest news. surrounding Real Housewives of Louis Bodidel. We'll have to talk about this later, though. You know, illegally obtaining allegedly information for court. I'm not laughing. I'm just not Teresa's fault. I'm not smiling. I'm not smiling. I'll stop laughing. It's not funny. I can't help it. I shouldn't even be smiling right now. I can't stand watching Lisa right now either. It was bad. but for us to get through basically 3 episodes, and she has not still acknowledged that what she said, especially calling Keke aggressive. She still hasn't caught on to that yet. And I don't even think Keke pushed that issue. We just went through this on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So when finally we get to the point where she says it 3 or 4 times, calls Keke aggressive and screams like a maniac, Keke let her off the hook way too. Come here. Let her off the hook way too much. So anyway, we get back to the thing. They get in the Sprinter van, and she gets the ambulance to finally get her an IV, which is so scary anyway. Like, imagine being really sick. Like, you have this thing going on. You have cancer, or you have to go get chemo. So you're like already stressed out. These women are not paying attention to you. You're throwing up, and you know how bad you feel when you're throwing up, and you're in a different country, and you have these people with a mariachi band and your friends of you are like egging it on and not stopping or not paying attention or helping you. Like, that is awful. Like, because you know how horrible you feel when you're there, like when you're throwing up. Like, it's not a good feeling. Like, you don't want to be bothered at all. And it was like, I felt so bad for Gertie. Like, after that, thank God she felt better, but like I would have lost my shit on Lisa. And I know Gertie's trying to not have any drama. Hi, kitty cat. Say hi. Say hi, I'm Sterling Marie. My name is Sterling Marie, and I'm famous. I want to be famous, and I love my mom so much. Oh, kitty lover, yeah. Okay, so she's like, yes, I'm famous. I'm famous. I know. I'm famous, and so are you. Yes. Can you come give me kisses, please? I can't come and give you kisses over here. She's like on my lap. I can't reach her. Yeah, exactly. We can't because Lisa's so worried about her. Like, God forbid that Lisa bring up any freaking. That Keke bring anything up about her life. The fact that, oh my God, I would get to that point because literally I'm talking about Lisa already, and we're not even to the end of the other episode because I'm still in the beginning of 15. Because that whole episode, like, she just she doubles down on it, and that's what makes me mad. I wish Gertie's not gone. I know, I know, and I was thinking this wasn't a good idea. Like, especially when her margins are where they are. Like, I don't know too much about that part of like margins wise, but like, she had the okay to go, but she did get a cold. And she got dehydrated really quickly. So it just, that was scary. Like, I think after that, I would have stayed home. Or not home. I would have stayed in the motel. I would have stayed back. I know she wanted to enjoy herself, but they are well aware that she's sick and she has this going on. And, all of them did really around her except for Lisa. Lisa still, I don't feel, has been a good friend to Gertie. Did you see when the blood pressure cough got her hair? And she's like, I don't give a shit, just cut it. I was like, I love her. Like, she's just like, Russell, I need you. Russell. And Lisa's like, she's all right. And she's like, I'm good. But like, it was good to see her bounce back. But like, it just, you see her trying to rally on, like, who can rally, you call it, but just rally. It's like she did push herself, I think, too much because she wanted to have a good time because what she has to face when she gets back. And like, I just cry, like I could cry thinking about like the scariness of what she's facing, even though it's now fast forward into the future, like we're over it, but like we're past that and all. But like, just watching her struggle there and like with these women, and just watching Keke struggle with these women, like, even Larsa doesn't like to say, like, she doesn't like to apologize or anything, but like, Lisa's really bad. Lisa feels like her problem, like Keke said, your problems are not problems, okay? I'm just glad they have, like, they do seem to conflict resolution quickly. Like we're all mad at Keke. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, we're all mad at Lisa and everything, but like at least for the time being, they still genuinely love each other. Like they genuinely care for each other. Because if they didn't, did you see even, okay, so we get to Adriana's appearance, okay? I mean, is it me or did her contouring change her face? Like, I'm sorry. She looks 20 years younger when somebody else does her makeup. And like, I thought she looked phenomenal. I'm like, she looks 25 years old. Her body, her voice, her face, like her makeup. I was like, wow, Adriana, like, I forget that you are literally a pop singer. Like, both. And I love Julie's makeup. Julie's makeup was so good. I loved her eyeshadow. It was all like rainbow. It was pretty. I was like, I want to try that. I would see we don't have it around here. And listen, I'm not going to Philly because it's too dangerous. If they did have a pride parade, and I would like to go to one that's like with you guys somewhere, maybe over in like California, or I would even go to Miami's pride. I would even go to this one. Maybe we should go to Miami. Beta's in Miami. You guys are somewhere near Miami somewhere. I think Cassandra's in Miami. Cassandra, if you're here, you're in Miami, or you're close to Miami. But like okay, so I was impressed with her song, her singing, whatever. Like, I didn't see like the crowd was like, I'm kind of confused because like that's the biggest pride festival that there is, right? And I guess, did she sing more than one song? Because even if she messed up, I didn't notice. And I loved all the women, like literally were like dancing around, even if she was like lip syncing or like women or like the crowd wasn't into it or whatever, like the women all rallied around her. And think about it, that is Adriana. Adriana just a couple of weeks ago tried to bring Anna back into the picture to expose Alexia, but guess what? They have literally gotten over it. They did not, like, even though Adriana's wrong and she's been talking shit this whole time, they did not allow that to get into the show and make it toxic. Where like this would not, any other freaking franchise right now, you know that OC Tamrat would jump on this and make that such a big fucking deal that she would not let it go, and like we wouldn't be able to have a show that's enjoyable to watch. And that exactly, they are so supportive no matter what. As much as they weren't supportive of Keke, they were just being like old ladies, okay? They just didn't want to be out all night, you know? Like, they should exactly, like, they don't really like Adriana, you know what I mean? Like, but they still were happy for her. They were there for her. All of them, every single one of them. They were all dancing. They were all singing. They all made signs. It was funny that Julia spelled her name wrong. I don't know how or why she spells her name wrong. We even know how to spell her name, right? Is it maybe because we say it a lot? We see it on the, they put for the closed caption, it was put their names up. Maybe that's why. Let me see. I can spell Maureen's name. I can spell all my friends' names. I can spell their kids' names, and they have weird names. Yeah. That's weird. It's weird that Julia doesn't know her name. So are they really best friends, or are they just best friends for the show? I'm just saying. But how cool is it though that Julie and Alexia are in on like a project together? Which, thank God, Alexia, we're gonna get to you. Thank God you're doing something for yourself, and Todd has nothing to do with it. I hope not, anyway. So yeah. So the concert was amazing. It was cool that Julia told everybody. So she did tell Martina that she kissed all the ladies. Martina said nothing about it. Yeah, she was. She was also being so messy too. She was being messy. But yeah, that was horrible. Yeah, and like nobody ever asks her about that stuff. Like nobody ever asks her how she's doing. Like I didn't even realize, and I also didn't realize that Keke had 2 kids. That's how much Keke doesn't talk about herself. I didn't realize Keke has 2 kids. Like, why don't we ever see her kids on the show? Is she not allowed to have them on the show, maybe? Or did we just not, or she's a friend of? Is she a friend of? Like, I don't know. I'm confused because, like, Keke was in every single episode. They all were in every single episode. To me, they're all full-time housewives. I don't even see one of them as being as a friend of. You know what I mean? Like, at some point, one of them they're always there for each other. And like, that's the best part about it. Like, they can even say, like, I know we all care about each other. And like, they do. And I don't want it to get ruined. And I'm so glad that they have not allowed, even Adriana has not allowed this Anna thing to like be a big deal and bring her, she has a friend. Okay. Like, even that is not, they're not letting that penetrate the group. Like, listen, Bravo has to approve of Anna being a friend of on the show or coming back into her, because she was let go. So they did plan on making that a storyline, or they tried to. And I feel like these women didn't even let it happen. Because, I mean, listen, we're like moved on to like Nicole. We're past it all. Like, we're all over it. Like, they've all moved on. Conflict resolution. Side note, what so yeah. So they're all getting ready. Asking them watch too soon. Oh yeah, Halisa's taking a picture. Boop. So, oh my God. So still, literally, so when they're getting ready, and Nicole comes in to talk to Lisa, because of course everybody's somehow, how does Lisa finds out? Like, I might be jumping ahead, but like, somehow doesn't Lisa finds out that everybody's talking about her? Or is that a little bit further? No, she's wrong. Basically, she's wrong. It's somehow, yeah. It was at some point Nicole comes in to talk to Lisa, but I think that's towards the end. But this is not right. Like, it's this, no matter what, like, Lisa screaming at Keke, even when we get to the end, is just horrible. She has got no clue. And I don't care about Lenny having to build her house. I don't care. Like, if that's what you're crying about, you're still crying about your divorce. So we're supposed to feel bad for you because you're signing your divorce papers when you have a whole new other boyfriend, when I think you should be having a therapist, not a boyfriend. You have that much of emotional issues. You don't have to fight Lenny. You chose to fight Lenny. So Nicole is excusing her behavior by saying she came in fighting mode. Maybe that's a nice way to put it to give her an out, but Lisa doesn't get an out for this. Like, I don't like Nicole giving her an out. And maybe if that's how we move on, that's how we move on. But yeah, like, we're not moving on. They can move on. We're good watching them move on. But she deserves to be broken up with, not Larka. Larkus. We'll call him Larkus. Larkus, I thought, would stay together, and Jody and Lisa, I thought, would break up. They both said that Watch What Happens Live, they'd be engaged in 6 months. I'm pretty sure they're back together. But, we did a pretty good job of not making Larsa talk about this whole situation until the very freaking end. Leah Black, let me say Leah Black. I don't like Leah Black, but Leah Black did some employee training for Jeff Lewis's gangs. Lisa needs it. I think Lisa needs it. And we need Lisa. I think the rest of them, see, Larsa lives beyond like below her means, you can tell. I think most of them do, except for Alexia, because we still don't even know what's going on with Todd and Alexia's finances. Did you notice? They're getting a house that's $5,000 more a month, more than what they're paying now. So I really believe that they got kicked out of that apartment that they were paying $40,000 a month for. I know, Mamir. I know. Oh, like, why? And it's like, and who didn't stop? And at one point, somebody said you're both wrong to like Keke and Lisa. No. Keke can never get she can never say what she was trying to say. What she was trying to say was she was absolutely right. All she wants is for them to even ask like about her problems. Like, she didn't even bring up the fact that Lisa talked about how the dogs didn't eat that much food or haven't seen food that good in a long time. They looked like they were starving. And trust me, hun, they haven't eaten this good in a while. Like, what, your stupid peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Like, those dogs might eat more better than that. You know what I mean? Who knows? Like, I know she doesn't eat meat. So I'm just saying, like, it was horrible. It was so bad. And like, she's screaming at Keke. First of all, she told her to stop throwing things at her. She said she assaulted her. She kept screaming, "You assaulted me." She threw a juice box at her. A juice box. And actually, she didn't throw it at her. She went like that with it. At that point, I would have thrown it at her too. But Keke's like, "No, I'm not, that's not what happened." But for Lisa to keep screaming that you've assaulted me. Wrong. No, that's no. Like we just had this issue with Beverly Hills. And they didn't even bring that up. And it's like, I know that Keke and Gertie talked about it. And I don't know if Keke and Gertie feel like they have privilege as well. So they don't have the right to bring up what Lisa's doing, but they do. Because you still are not, you're still calling her aggressive. You're not saying that to anybody else. You know, you have like screamed and yelled at everybody on that gondola. And the only one that you got up in everybody's in their face and said to get up and got in their face like that was Keke. She's the only one that you stood up and tried to literally tell and like egg her on and then continued throughout the day to bring it up. Oh, what, are you gonna fight me again? Oh, are you done yelling at me? Are you done attacking me? And Keke's like, stop saying that. Stop saying that. And it's like, Keke, say it. And she won't. And then Keke's like, not going to go there. But it's like, we know we know why she should not be saying it. And the rest of them should not be letting it happen either. And I'm sorry, like, Julia's sitting there telling Lee, I'll get to that part, but let me see where we at. After the concert. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the entire, she looked like she was 18. She looked so great. Yep. So Lisa, Keke's up in the room. Nicole's there too. Yeah, she wants to bring up the juice box thing. She brings up the juice box thing again. She's like, yeah, but she threw the juice box at me. Because you literally were screaming, and she's trying to tell you to stop talking. She could tell you why it was inappropriate to talk about these people's homes and the way that they lived. Exactly. And I don't even like watching Nicole anymore. So I thought Nicole was rude to Isis, the dad's girlfriend. But she was rude to them, but we'll get to that part. But, you know, Lisa in her confessional, she's still trying to defend it. Lisa in her confessional defending it was pissing me off. Because nobody is saying to her, you don't think it's not, you think it's right to say to her, you know, they don't recognize it at all. And I don't even think but I feel like Keke thinks that she, like, her and Gertie might have privilege as well. So maybe that's why she wouldn't bring up that part about, you know, her saying you should not be telling her she's attacking you, or saying I'm attacking you, or why am I the only one that you're like coming at and you're like trying to do kung fu and shit at, like. And it's like somebody needs to make her realize that, like, it's really it's like she said, it's not. First of all, it's unwarranted. Like, Lisa, where's your balls from? Like, where'd your balls come from? Like, I don't get it. Like, your balls are what? Like, for what? Like, we don't feel bad for you. We know that Lenny cheated on you. Yeah, all the women are still rallying around you and giving you a pass, but like, we are over you. So, oh God, what was about the bracelets? Not bracelets, right? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I don't know, something about bracelets forgetting. Yeah, we went past this part. Lisa confessional. Yes. Lisa, nobody's gonna have your back. Yes. And I said, Lisa, nobody's gonna have your fucking back when you're acting like a spoiled fucking Karen. That's fine. Lisa needs to hear something told. Yeah. Lisa brings up the shit to Julia. Oh, okay. So yeah. She brings up the stuff to Julia of all things. And Julia's like, yeah, like Julia, she's like, they're in there talking about you, or what did she say? Nicole are talking about it being supportive. They're telling Larsa, and Julia starts to get really messy. I think I'm moving on to the next episode. Am I? Oh no, this is the end of it. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. This is the good part. This is the part where we have to get into. Okay. So when they all tell Lisa how basically she finds out that they're all. I think Larsa tells her that they're all talking about her, or how they all felt, or Julia, or something, and she just keeps bringing it up. But I think she says that she should apologize to Keke, which she tries to apologize to Keke. But this is after when they go shopping. This is after she's already tried to kung fu fight her. She's like, "Oh, we're gonna fight me again," and like Keke's like, "Dude, like chill." Like Keke walks up and gives her like a hug. It is misplaced anger, but it's gotta stop. Like. Yeah, of course she took it. Yeah, but it's not more. It's like she doesn't. It's her problems that she's mad at Lenny for are not that big of a deal. Like he agreed to build you a waterfront property. Yeah, I don't care that you're getting a divorce. Like, we don't feel bad anymore. We've known this. Like, if you're this upset that you have all this anger still, you shouldn't have a boyfriend. Like, you should have a therapist, you know? But, you know, when she's finally, we get down to finally trying to say something to her and talk to her about it, and she's crying. I don't want to hang out. I don't want to hang out. I don't want to hang out. I just don't feel good. I don't want to hang out. I don't want to hang out. You people, you guys hate me. I don't want to hang out. I hate you. You guys hate me. You hate me. I don't want to hang out. It's like, why are they leaving with her? Like, why did they follow her? Like, I would have let her go, but they followed her, I guess, to have conflict resolution. And which is okay, fine, great, but it all needed to be said to her. But for her to scream, Keke's trying to explain to her how she feels. She's trying to explain to her what she said on the gondola was ignorant. And you came at me for that thing. When she tried in the very beginning, nobody was trying to put you down and say that you're not a humanitarian. Keke was just trying to explain to you how it was not you talking about all, you know, Lenny, I'm upset about Lenny, when, like, she said she don't even know anything about me. Like, I grew up dirt poor. I grew up like those people that you're making fun of, or you're saying that their houses are this or that, and those dogs don't eat well. And, you know, all for her to scream, I can't heal your childhood trauma. Because I still feel like we didn't even get to a resolution. Like, I don't even think she apologized for that. I think she apologized for saying that one or something. She apologized for something. I don't know, Lisa, but it wasn't saying that, or was it? I don't know. She just keeps saying I was going through so much at this point in time. No, you weren't, Lisa. Like, you were literally getting your divorce that you knew. You have a whole other boyfriend. Like, this is not news. What you're doing is finally getting it settled, you know? And then Gertie getting sick again. Nobody once said, oh, how can we check on Gertie? Let's go check on Gertie. Gertie got a fever and didn't go to, like, she stayed behind. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like the stress made her sick too. Like, but she had a whole full-on cold, you know? Yeah, okay, that's right. They are left behind. Yeah. And that's when Lisa blows up on people. Yep. That's right. Yep. Yeah, I missed the end of that part. Okay, yeah. Yeah. And that's when she goes upstairs and crying and stuff, and then she doesn't want to hang out or do whatever or something. And it's like, what are you like really? Like, what are you crying about? Like, Lisa just needs to shut up. Yeah, I can't fix your childhood trauma. Like, really? Thank God there was an episode after that, because I was like, because I had to watch last week's and this week's, and I was like, oh, Lisa. Okay, good. Next episode. So still in Mexico, right? But they're leaving Mexico. Okay, so they're shopping. Oh, did you hear Lisa when they were trying to shop? When they were shopping, this is the other part. So we're moving on to the beginning of the next episode, and that's when they're shopping, right? And Lisa's like, I wish we had more time to shop. I didn't get Jody anything. I'll just order it when I get home. You have now been there for 3 days. This shows you how much Lisa doesn't think about anybody but herself. She's thinking to the very, very last minute to get Jody something. This is when she's buying everybody their gifts. When there's no time left. When she's done bought herself, I'm sure, lots of stuff. You know? And this is also the episode where Larsa gives the women diamonds of her tequila brand. Like, what in the hell? I need your opinion, guys. I'm still loving Miami. This is going to be episode 16. What did you think before we went into the whole episode? What did you think about Larsa giving them those diamond necklaces with the hello, Larja, with the actual, like, it's like, I don't know, symbol for her tequila? Look, if I didn't know what it was, I would like think they were pretty. I would like, hey, I love the diamond. I love the necklaces. They're cute. If I didn't know that they were also if they were actually, ridiculous, right? With a tequila logo, but like maybe nobody will know what the logo means. But like for her to think that they're gonna walk, did she get it knowing that people are gonna walk around with her logo on their neck, or did she think they were pretty? Like they just look pretty with the little circle-y looking thing? Because I was like, Larsa, Jesus, they were probably free, right? I mean, for advertising, does she really even need to do that? Like, first of all, I hope she didn't spend money on them. I don't know why she can only get 3. Why does she only get 3? I don't know. I just thought that was such an odd gift. Now, is that the gift that she said? Remember, she said to Gertie, I have something for you. I got you a gift when her and Gertie were trying to work out their friendship. Was that it? Yeah, it's definitely got. I was like, oh my. So is that what she's saying when she said she got Gertie something special? I hope not. But I don't see her give Gertie anything else. I'm not going to remember. I'm not going to forget that. Like, you promised her that you'd be a better friend, and you said, oh, I got you a present. What'd you get her? Did Gertie get a necklace? Like, or Lexia? Like, I'm just like, anyway, but like, first of all, that was weird. Okay. That was weird. I was jumping ahead to that episode. Okay. Right. Was I? Okay, Mexico. Okay. Oh yeah, this is her new shopping, yeah. And this is when she's like, I gotta get Gertie something, and I laughed because like, oh, that's all she thought about was getting Gertie at the very end. It just shows you how selfish Lisa is. Okay. It could have been a design of it. Like, it was a cute design if it wasn't a logo for a tequila bottle, a tequila brand, and it wasn't Larsa's. Like how much do you think they were? And do they really want one? I don't even think I want one. Like, they should have gotten them, like, what do you, like, I don't know. I would have taken anything. Maybe a worm or, like, a snake or, like, is it tequila the one with the worm at the bottom? But, like, turn it into, like, a cute snake or something, or I don't know. Never mind. Don't get anything to do with, like, never mind. Larsa, why did you even get them anything? Was it their birthday? Like, I don't know. Was it a thank you? Because you didn't get everybody anything. Like, what was this gift for? You know? But so, yeah, I don't know. They're all fighting. And we find out, too, like, during all this shopping and stuff. Like, I know Larsa lives beyond. She lives well below her means. Like, I know she gets a lot more money than what she spends. And I find that, inspiring that she still works and maybe has this tequila line. She gets Pippin money, but she also makes her own money. And, she lives below her means because she only pays $10 million a month. I'm sorry, $10,000 a month for her place that she lives, and the other women are spending $45,000, and it's like, I'm pretty sure Larsa owns her apartment, or was it 10 million or whatever? She owns her apartment. It was way cheaper than what Alexia spends. And what in the world is Alexia doing? Why are her and Todd spending $45,000 a month? And how is that the only thing you could find? Maybe that's true, but I really feel like he lost that place. Like, I do. I feel like he lost that place. So, but I like Alexia this episode because she was there for Gertie. She was there for everyone. And you know what? As much as they were bitches last season, her and Marital are not that bad. And, if anything, it's Adriana in the comments in her confessionals being she has a Mr. Potato Head face. Her face is very distracting. She puts her lips on. Her lips look like you put them on. It's not even an Ozempic lip anymore. She's got two, and they look like Mr. Potato Head lips. And that's where I got the Mr. Potato. Not that she's ugly or anything. She just looks like she puts her face on. It's bad. It looks bad. It's very distracting because I'm waiting to see if it moves. I'm like, Larsa, don't be started. Like, Larsa's getting me started. It's very distracting. And it's like Todd's part, right? So I'm sorry. And I'm just gonna have to. Let me just side note to Potomac real quick. I'm sorry, Trashly. You make a lot of money every month. You're not going to be homeless on the side of the road like your mother was. Okay, you have a fucking job. Okay, so let's not. Okay, speaking of financial issues, I just want to point that out. That was made me very angry watching that. I'm like, why am I watching this? It's making me very angry. I don't want to cover it, but it's still making me angry. Like Trashly, really? You fucking bitch. You have a goddamn job, okay? Divorce the motherfucker. Stop saying you're using them for financial security. You have a job. You make $800,000 out of a fucking season. What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with her? Why does she think that we hear? Like, am I supposed to? Oh, okay, Trashly. I feel so sorry for you. You might be homeless because if you divorced Michael, that cheating piece of shit. Oh, I'm sorry if you divorce that guy who's suing your friend. You're going to be you fear of being homeless and having to sit on the side of the road with your children when you have a fucking job. Anyway, back to Miami because Alexia, why are you spending $45,000 a month? And if that is literally the only people that will get maybe that's the only person that will give you a apartment. Maybe he had to pull a grift to get this money because I'm pretty sure they lost that house or something happened to make them have to leave like that, and to uproot Frankie like that, which by the way, Frankie looks amazing and he's doing really well. Don't you think? It's so why this is my favorite. Like I'm telling you, I just not only do I like the women on this franchise, I like their storylines in their own lives. Their lives have storylines. They come with their own bags of shit. They don't need each other to be storylines, okay? Because we have Alexi and Todd, which we still haven't figured out. Why did they have to move? I don't believe that. It's illegal. I'm pretty sure it's illegal when you're in the middle of a lease to go sell the place on that person, right? It doesn't have the same amenities. Yeah. I mean, they might not be happy with it, but guess what? You know? Like, I mean, oh, that was so horrible. I was like, are you kidding me, this bitch? That's why she's not leaving him? Because of that story? She's giving us that story versus me. Oh, Trashly. Oh, okay. No. You lying bitch. This was your whole situation with Michael. Anyway, you've always been this way with Michael. This has always been your arrangement. We just know about it now. Now you don't have to play. Yep. Did you see what happened? Have you seen the latest? I love you in my opinion. I'm just reminding you how much I love you. I love you. But did you see what came out about what Bo Dietl and he did and him did? Okay. Sorry, my allergy is kicking in. My shellfish allergy is kicking in. Woo. Okay. Just yeah, I'll send it to you. It's pretty wild. It's pretty obvious. I mean, I knew that. I knew that it was wrong. I knew that they went to court under false pretenses. They had to have for that judge to side with him, and now to not side with him because we all knew that he. Anyway, it's a two head, by the way. She has a two head. I love you in my opinion. Bo did it. So did he, and so did the other one. Because Bo has no reason. Listen, and that's how I feel. How now? Now can we say Teresa? Now can I say Teresa? He has been wanting to be with his ex-girlfriend. He got with you to throw it in her face. That's what narcissists do. They find, he found the perfect person to take advantage of, to put in, and then also to have it thrown in, to be stalking your ex after you're married. Oh, to be engaged to this ex in 2020 and be married and engaged and married to somebody else by 2022, mid 2022. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I digress. Okay. It's going to have to be a whole other episode that me and in my opinion are going to do together, hopefully, because I have to talk about this. Like, I need to know what Teresa fans are thinking, because I need to know now that you guys are now looking at this like this man is not good for her. This is why she's lost so much weight. Just saying, guys, I haven't seen her, but she's lost a lot of weight. Like, yeah, she's stressed, but she's not going to admit it. That's the sad part. Is she will be on her way to prison again and still standing by her man. Just saying. Like, yeah, and I feel like the universe has said, you didn't learn the first time, but I thought she had. I thought the universe saw that she learned her lesson the first time. Well, maybe she didn't, because it's now happening again, and it's tenfold. It's like 10 times worse. She's in a worse position. Like, at least Joe pretended to love her on camera. I can't even get it. It's so bad. And it's like, I'm not even dogging her. I am Team Teresa. I'm Team Teresa's mental health, Teresa's well-being. I am Team not Louie. Okay, I am Team not Louie. That's it. So it's sad, but anyway, it's not. Yeah. So anyway, we get back to the States, right, in Miami, and I forget. Okay, so Nicole's dad passes away, I guess after filming, because we see him with ISIS. We still don't know why. Okay, me too. Same here. Yep. You got to remember too, like, they're getting older too, though. They have a choice whether they want to be around that, and I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say it. It's not my business. But Keke eats a cricket. That was cool. But bring it back to the States. And I said, Lisa apologized to Keke. Lisa somewhat apologized, but not really. We get what we can out of Lisa. And, you know, and that's why I wrote, like, I ended with, like, that's why I love this franchise, because, you know, by the time we get to the birthday party, everybody's getting along. By the time we get to all the penises in the, you know, the thingy, what's it called? The pinata with the penises, everybody's laughing and getting along. So, like, that's what I mean. That's why this franchise is amazing. That's why the other franchise is not. It's like, because even, okay, we want real life, right? But this is real life. And unfortunately, Jersey is also real life. What happens on camera is also is what's going on in real life with them. It's not for show, but it's so toxic that we've had Bravo hyper focused on the problems that are there and having people paid to drag to make it more toxic in between seasons, that it just made it look so bad. And we don't want Miami to do that, and I don't want Beverly Hills to do that. I can literally get over, or I can not get over what Erica did. I cannot argue for her or against her if she stays this fake person, fake nice, fake whatever. Look, if you're going to keep her here and we're going to have to watch Erica, I would take this Erica over anyone, because I do believe at some point, like, Erica is starting to feel like me. She's starting to have feelings, maybe more for herself, but like more like maybe feelings like, oh, maybe I do want friends in my life. Maybe because she said a lot of compliments about these women that she didn't have to. Like, Erica's not a compliment giver. So, like, I can deal with this kind of stuff. Like, if we could keep this Miami, like, but I'm saying, like, all these ladies on this franchise don't need each other for a storyline, and that's what's good about it. Because Lisa's got her whole thing with Lenny and Jody, and the fact that she can't move on, and, you know, we got to see what's happening with Jody. We have Nicole, which we don't even know what happened to her dad yet. She just meets Isis. I think Isis has a baby or something, but we know Nicole also has a baby. She's pregnant now. Or had the baby by now, but like, and I think Isis also had a baby, which is Isis is her dad's girlfriend, and we find out her dad passes away. So that's the whole thing we have to get into still. We have Alexi and Todd. We don't know what the hell's going on there. So, like, that's like, listen, we're like, the season's over and we still have all this to get into. And we don't need Anna. Okay. Julia, her and Alexia started a business. That's more stuff I want to get into. Them being friends and them doing this together and just meeting and or not meeting, but now becoming friends. Like, the fact that that Gertie is now cancer free, and, you know, like, she's got a whole thing. Like, she's an amazing husband. Like, not that she needs a storyline, but like, we can watch her recovery and maybe some decisions that she makes in her life afterwards that are, like, you know, inspiring. Keke, we find out she's a friend of, but I don't feel like her and Marital are a friend of, because I just realized that Keke had 2 kids. I want to know about her life. I want to know the kid's dad. Do we know who the kid's dad is? And are the kids on the show? And I didn't know that Steve and Marital were married. I guess I did know. I knew they were married. But that's awesome. They're having a vow renewal. Nobody even said congratulations. Lisa didn't even recognize that. And of course, Marisol excuses her behavior, which is weird, because maybe Marisol has always been a friend of, but she's also been a force multiplier in the show. So I guess everything that happened where you guys are saying she was mean last season, I don't see it now. I mean, she's, at this point, I feel like they are still friends. They genuinely care about each other, because they are still hanging out. They, you know, and it's like, to do businesses with each other. That's awesome. And Julia, I'm obsessed with her farm. That's what I want. I want Julia's farm, and she wants to make money so she doesn't have to rely on the show or Martina. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if Julia gets money, but Julia's daughters, they are in college, right? Like, I'm saying, like, they have that. Like, we still have Frankie and Alexia, Todd's situation to work on. Like, I still want to figure out what's like, you know, there's a lot going on that we got to keep filming. Like, I'm upset that it's the season finale, because there's so much stuff that we don't know. We don't know anything about Todd and Alexia's stuff. Like, we're going to have to figure that out between now and the reunion. And you know, the reunion's already filmed. but there's so much more. Like, I'm excited for this franchise, and it's on Bravo now. And thank God, I think them putting it on after Beverly Hills was a good idea. At first, I was like, that's a lot. That's too much. But I feel like they had to put it back on Bravo because they're not the redheaded stepchild. They are just the franchise that's like the old OC. Now imagine we're watching this beautiful behavior. There's nothing going wrong. It's conflict resolution on both shows, except for Kyle and Mauricio. They can go shove it up there. They're obviously doing all that for storylines because now all of a sudden everything's fine. But I can deal with it. Listen, since Rinna's been gone, hasn't been toxic, right? It hasn't been that toxic. Erica being fake, okay, whatever. We know that she tried to. I feel like she's on a live Tom at one point. Or left him at the bottom of the cliff. That's all my opinion. Who cares what I think, right? I can deal. I feel like Rinna being gone is a good thing. I feel like there's no toxicity. Yes, I want Julia's farm. I do. There is no toxicity. Okay. So, like, I just feel like its franchise is amazing. And, throwing a bunch of penises around and like all of them thanking each other for, being supportive to one another, which is good. So all the dildos, blah, 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 blah. So I want to get on to the Larsa stuff. I forgot all about that. I forgot about the Larsa stuff because they go to, okay. So the birthday party is not a birthday party, or it is a birthday party. Is it a birthday party? Because how do we go from Larsa's, is it a tasting with Larsa's partners at party or something? Because Larsa's like, oh, half of them aren't here. So yeah, okay. So like, it wasn't the tequila factory. It was meeting up with the partners for tasting of her tequila that she's had out for 2 years. Am I following this correctly? Okay. So why is it taking this long for them to taste it? Anyway, so in front of the partners, okay. Right. That's what, and I feel like Kyle's mom did that too. Yep. Teresa too. Yeah. And the fact that Teresa's dad and sister didn't talk at all in life. And her dad's motto is, if you haven't honored me in life, don't honor me in death. That's the Italian way they think. And I do not feel that, okay, I don't feel that that Michael Jordan's opinion of their relationship would break them up at all. Or Scotty's opinion. And I think they have zero opinion. Look at Sterling Ray. I don't think they have, I honestly feel like it's zero opinion. I don't think that even Michael Jordan saying that, yeah, it might be hurtful, but I don't think Larsa has to care about that. So let me get to that point. Because when it comes to that stuff, I feel like it's none of the women's business at this point. Because Larkus appear to be happy. Now, is she, whatever they broke up with, I don't know. I feel like he calls her wifey. I feel like he loves her. I don't know. If they had a fight and that's what she did to be like, to make it a big deal and make him like see the error of his ways by going on social media and unfollowing him and saying your friend should unfollow your boyfriend and then being seen with him the next day. And people to be like, oh, it's because Michael Jordan thing came out. I don't think they care. And I don't think Michael Jordan is saying to his grown son who he can be with. And why should Larsa have take Scotty's opinion on who she dates? Okay. They're not bankrolling them. Michael Jordan is not bankrolling his son. And if he isn't bankrolling his son, I don't think he probably is leaving him a lot of money, but Marcus has his own money. And so does Larsa has Pippen money. As long as she doesn't marry anybody else, which I don't know if they're going to get married. I don't know I think she gets half of Scotty's retirement and all that for life. She lives way below her means. They really don't need Michael Jordan's okay. Not his grown-ass son. And if your son is happy, then you should. And it's not Larsa that did anything it's not her fight. It's not Marcus's fight, and it's not Larsa's fight. Whatever was happening between Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen is not their fight. That is their other people in their lives. If anything, Marcus was meant to lose Puerto Rican. You know why? Because they're literally digging at the heels of the fact that your dad, your dad, your dad. Maybe he's tired of them talking about their relationship and trying to pick apart their relationship. Do I think Marcus is a bad guy? No. I think he probably got sick of these women or whatever they're doing. It's like, we'll see what he says. We'll see what he said. Like, cruel how? Like, what's the context behind it? I'm not going to literally take, the other women's opinion, perception, just their perception of what happened at the reunion, because everything we've seen is, even on Watch What Happens Live and everything, he seems to be in love with. They seem to be really in love. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Was he on Riot? Maybe it was an old thing. I don't know. I don't see him using Larsa, and I don't see him saying wifey, spending all that time meeting her kids and everything if he didn't plan on being with her, or saying we're going to be, engaged in that less than 6 months if he wasn't serious, or he cared what Michael Jordan thought. And if Michael Jordan's laughing, look, let Larsa, she obviously looked uncomfortable with that question. And again, she's not going to answer for Michael. Marcus can answer for Michael. You know what I mean? Like, them literally picking at that, pick at the fact that she's younger and older than him, pick at the fact that they can't have kids of their own or whatever. Just like the fact that Michael, having to talk for Michael is stupid. She doesn't, they don't need his permission, who is in an argument with her ex-husband, to date somebody. Like, to date, it's not their business, really. And again, it's like Julia is the one pushing it and being messy about it. It's like, Julia, you of all people should know that, like, if you see like people talking, you have a very famous wife, so I don't think you would want people talking about whether Martina's family thought of you or whatever. It's not he probably doesn't like her. Exactly. And it probably was. Exactly. I don't like TMZ either. TMZ or JSLs. They didn't really interview him. He was walking away, like she said. It doesn't matter whether he likes her or not. You know what I mean? Marcus does. They don't need his money. They don't need his permission. Yeah, is it nice that he spent, obviously he probably doesn't even talk about the relationship with Marcus. If he doesn't like Larsa, he doesn't like Larsa. And you know what? Maybe Larsa doesn't like him either. Maybe she takes the side of her ex-husband, like, again, Larsa and Marcus are not Scotty and Michael. Larsa didn't argue or whatever happened. I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know what the beef is. I know there was a huge beef between them. I don't know what it is. But didn't really pay attention to it, It was probably the night. Yeah, but see, like, they didn't really push it. They pushed it, but not. They tried, and I feel like it was a stupid storyline. Like, pick up, like, why don't you say, oh, are you gonna have kids, or like, stuff like that. What do you guys think about Frankie and the Uber thing? So we get to the point where we get to a part of the story or part of the episode where, Frankie and Alexia go to therapy, and it's that foundation, which I think is amazing. And it seems like Frankie really enjoys it. But I don't know if he could have, like, living on his own. Like, I feel I'm like on the side with Frankie with this. I'm with Peter with this one, and Alexia right now. I don't think I would be able to put Frankie in a Uber. Do you think he's ready to take an Uber? I don't know. I don't know if that's what he's learning right now, but like, it seemed like it really freaked Alexia out. Maybe. Well, remember how she said that they had little Larsas? She's got frozen little Larsas for a reason. And she said at Watch What Happens Live that he had, she said within a year, or I'm not going to have other kids. So she told him within a year, whether we get engaged or we have them, or she's like, but I'm not going to do it after this year. So I think they had a fight. Maybe their first big fight. And maybe it was him not spending. I don't know. And I think she broke up with him and then probably regretted it. Because I can't see them just like, it couldn't be a market. Like, Michael's never liked her. So it's not like all of a sudden they're going to make that a big deal. I think that the show, and I think them having a podcast, showed production that they don't care what Michael Jordan thinks. But the whole baby thing might be an issue. And I don't, like, they have each other's codes for their phones. Like, to me, I have George's, but that's just because I watch him do it. It's not for like anything like I need to code your phone. I don't use it to check on his phone. But then, like, when she said she had his coach, she's like, well, you introduce one of your kids, and then, what if you find out, he's a serial murderer on a library? And it's like, I think maybe something happened, and then she's like, just for future reference, give me the code your friend. And I do feel like she would maybe put up with a little more than she would usually put up with him, because I feel like they do love each other. Like, I think they're back together anyway. Can you please get away? Oh my God, just gonna knock my camera over. Come here, please. I don't know why these cats like to jump all over the thing, but I don't think they usually ever even gave us a reason why they broke up. But maybe the ladies were pushing. Come here. The ladies were pushing the Jordan thing at the reunion. But I feel like, that storyline, what other storyline do we have though with them? We got Lisa with Jody and Lenny. Like I'm saying, they all have their own storylines. But I do like Frankie going and being at that place. I don't know if he's taking the recall test. That's cool. Like, he got 100% on the recall test. It does make me nervous, and I feel like it would make Peter nervous to put him in an Uber. Look, I get nervous I would be nervous with my kid in an Uber anyway, whether it's Frankie or anybody else. So I just feel like I think, like Peter said, you can afford a driver. Listen, this is where I'm at with it. Now that I think about it, you can afford $45,000 a month. You can afford a driver for Frankie. Okay, he never has to drive, and because of what happened, I would. Yeah. I don't know if maybe that's something they have to achieve that's inappropriate. You know what I mean? And maybe she should stop walking up there with him, because she seemed to very, like, Alexia was distracting to him. And I know it's hard, but I feel like that Frankie trusts that woman and the person there, the people there, so she doesn't have to sit there and be there and watching him and saying, I'm going to show up those, because she's distracting to Frankie. So if Frankie's going to have a job, her going to his job is going to distract him. And it's going to make it like, they moved an apartment that's $45,000. It's $5,000 more a month they spend than they already did spend. So it's weird. They spent $40,000, and I feel like they got kicked out of that place, because you can't just sell a house that you're renting to somebody for a year's lease or whatever, when they have a child that has issues, like it's going to infect his progression, or it could regress him by moving. Those people should know that, and they've lived there for a very long time. So I don't think they just up and like sold the place underneath of them. I feel like they Todd screwed something up. But the fact that she's having something, she has a line of jams with Julia is awesome, because it shows too Julia wants to make her own money, even though Martina can more than afford. Martina is so rich. You guys know how rich she is. Holy crap. Martina is, I'm sorry, they have a lot of money, and she still is making it where she doesn't have to ask for her money. And I'm obsessed with her farm. I wish I had all the things that she has. And I like the fact that she's trying to make the jam, even though she's being messy and being like up people's butt. She's not. We don't need her to be. That's the thing. That's nothing. We don't need messy. We don't need extra messy. We don't need you to push other, make you to be the toxic one. Okay, because Julia, you're not the toxic one. You're the one that was trying to avoid Anna and all that, right? Todd didn't pay the rent. Exactly. Oh, they sold it. They wanted to sell it because she made it so beautiful. It sold so fast. No, you broke their lease. It's not allowed. Like, I feel like that's like the wrong, not right. And then to get an apartment that's $5,000 more. Wow. And that was all they could find. Like, do you think that maybe she took her money from the show and put the down payment on that? I feel like that's the only way they got another place, is they had to have paid for it up front. She doesn't make that much on the show, right? And maybe they're living off of what Todd has, if he's still making money. And Alexia's payment from the show got them in that apartment or place. You know what I mean? It is very suspicious, because it's not legal. You can't just sell a place to somebody that you have to finish out their lease. Renters get 3 months. That's it? I think I would, wow. I would think that they'd have to wait until until that lease is up and then sell it. You know what I mean? I just feel like that's kind of not cool. 3 months notice is great, right? That'd be great. But still, I thought maybe they would have to wait till their lease was up and then sell it. Yeah. But I'm obsessed with the fact that she is like, I'm like, Alexi, you need to figure out. Remember, she didn't even know how much she was allowed to spend. Todd wouldn't tell her, and she ended up spending more. And all right, so the stuff too. Okay, so it's still $45,000 a month, and her saying that she's got to get Frankie used to it and everything, and Frankie's got to get used to that place. You got to blame Todd for this, okay? She's the most toxic, and it's crazy that Julia doesn't want her to be, but then Julia acts toxic too by sitting there. But she had to tell Lisa what about herself, but how Lisa had taken it such the wrong way. Like every time you tell Lisa either tough love or about herself, she makes it into something else because she doesn't understand. She's not self-aware. So it's very toxic for Julia to even try to push anything onto Lisa. But then, like I said, it's conflict resolution, and we get to the end of the next episode, and we're all good. We're making jams with each other, which is great. So yeah, so let's go through this part with like Lisa and Jody. The plans, okay. So with Todd and Alexia, we know they're spending $5,000 more a month. We need to find out what he did. So we need them to keep filming, keep going. I think this franchise is like a 10. Okay. If I'm going to rate this franchise, it's the 10. It's the number one franchise. But so I'm not done recapping it. But anyway, but what do we think that this whole plans thing is with the house that Lenny picks? So they find a house, which we thought was a horrible idea for her to do, but she agrees to it. Lenny somehow, I guess, I know he went through with getting plans to build Lisa this house, which is going to be the best deal that they're going to get. And they just happened to be Jody's plans for the house that he lives in now, which was Adriana's house, correct? So, Amy, I was in for Adriana trying to shame Alexia for everybody. Exactly. That's all she was doing. She misunderstood everything. Did you see her on Watch What Happens Live? Adriana, how she was, Mademoiselle, was she drunk? Was she drunk? She was being awful about Marcus. Basically doubling down on what she said about taking him from Larsa and acting like kind of messy about it. Like, I haven't talked to her, but maybe it's because of me, or like, and Julia's like, stop, Adriana. Like, really, it was really bad. So she's trying to shame her. And exactly. And she was trying to make Anna on, but it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely a 10 larger. I agree. Because listen, like we said, even if this is all going on and we have all these storylines in our head that we want to keep going, we have storylines without them making each other their storyline. We don't need the producers and the showrunners to have them fight and have a whole little secret thing going on. Salt Lake. You know what I'm saying? That's why Salt Lake is not going to, like these showrunners, they need to just not do what they did. Because either you had Monica come in, she was a housewife. She came in with her own bag of shit. We didn't need her you guys, as the showrunners, to make a storyline for her. We had one with her. Just like Miami has their own storylines each. And they're all friends. So we get to find out what goes on in their lives, the toxic stuff, or not even toxic, the drama in their own lives. Then we get to see them hang out and kind of shade each other, but then they get over it and they love each other, and we get to watch them support each other, and then they fight, and it's like literally you're not forcing them to be together. They're inviting each other on like, trips. Yeah, they have to have trips, but like, great, good. I like them because I keep saying they are their best when they're on these trips. And whether it's a Ultimate Girls trip that they're doing with Floroni, which I have said every single Ultimate Girls trip before I watch it. And I said, you can't even pay me to watch the Ultimate Girls trip, Roni. I said, there's no way that it's going to be just as good. Because every time I've said that, I've said these Ultimate Girl trips were, stop it. I want to know who shot JR too. We never found out who shot JR, did we? Guys, we're dating ourselves right now. We don't know who shot JR. But doesn't Kyle remind you of Dynasty though? Sometimes Kyle's old confessionals reminded me of Dynasty, of old Joan Collins. But yeah, like with Lenny, so yeah, like I'm saying, I can go through each one right now, each one of these scenes. And it's these ladies with their own storylines, okay? The Lenny and Jody and the whole thing of him building them a house, building the plans. Like I said, I don't know if the designer is okay. So they say you can all like the same designer. That would make sense. And so maybe it's the designer had like 5 different types of plans. Okay. They're not Jody's plans. They're just the designer's plans that Jody liked at one point. So it's not like Lenny goes and goes, I'm going to find the plans that Jody designed himself. That would be dumb. You know, she rubs me the wrong way, though, Amy. She does. As much as I can, the fact that they all gave her a pass, she's still in the confessional talking mad shit. When she was literally allowed to be at Marisol's little thing, we never found out until like 30 or 40 years later. Remember? When he passes away in real life, which I remember him, it's Larry Hangman. I remember him from I Dream of Jeannie. Okay. And then he was JR, correct? Or he was JR after that. And then he's Larry Hangman. I think did we find out like right before when they did like a reboot or something of Dallas, or didn't we find out like years and years later who shot him? And it was like, I don't remember. Also, I was, and I also grew up in the days of 90210. So, and like the Hills. I know. Listen, imagine like I was going to talk to, or we'll talk about this. Let me get through this thing. But I'm just saying, like we have all these ladies, right? We have Gertie and her situation. We have Keke. We want to make her a full-time friend. Okay. Larsa, we get to find out what happens with her and Larkus. Who's playing pickleball? Were they playing pickleball? Pickleball, they were playing pickleball. Was it pickleball? See how they all went to play pickleball? And we got Adriana hanging out with Larsa and Keke? That was awesome. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they all should be rallying around Julie. But like the fact that we only have the one last episode, the finale episode of, I guess, both Miami and Beverly Hills. What comes on after that, guys? What am I going to be covering on Fridays? Guys, what am I going to be covering on Fridays after this? Thank God we have a finale for both still, and then maybe 2 or 3 weeks of reunion. So I still have 4 weeks to figure it out. We just have to remember that I'm allergic to shellfish. Remember, I've discovered my shellfish allergy, so I cannot speak on any franchises that might have, shellfish, lobsters, or anything in the mix. We see how upset and red and I get. So we have to find something to cover on Fridays. I'm feeling like that cannot be my only option, right? We had, yes, Dynasty, Dallas, Melrose Place. I didn't watch Melrose Place, but I watched The Practice. I still watch Grey's Anatomy. Tell me you guys watch Grey's Anatomy. Terry, this is what I was going to say. I know you and I watch scripted TV sometimes, right? You guys you guys do a thing where you guys excluded me out of it, where I wasn't invited. I was thinking one of the days, why don't we go on and you guys come on with me and we talk about what to watch that week or what to watch, like shows that you guys have watched that you liked. Because I literally think that I was going to recommend Saltburn to you guys, but I'm like, there's a lot of shows that I would recommend that I feel they're not reality TV though. But I was thinking maybe one day a week we could do it, or one night a week. If you guys want to do it and tell me what you guys are watching or what to watch for like the week or two coming up. You know what I mean? But we all know that we watch all of the franchises. We all watch all of I'm not even covering Potomac, but I'm watching it. And you know what I got to say? I'm kind of mad at Wendy. Did I get through all of this? Yeah, we got all of this. Everybody's got a storyline. I want Lisa to be more self-aware. Somebody needs to tell her at the reunion why she should not be, going at Keke and saying that Keke's attacking her. Make her self-aware, please. And she is an actual Karen. Oh my God, watch it, Shay. All right, listen. Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, 2 things with Saltburn. There's only one other movie that made me feel some type of way, and it's Requiem of a Dream. I don't know how to explain the feeling. That movie, Requiem of a Dream, the movie Hustle, and Saltburn. I can tell you those 3 movies make me feel some type of way that I cannot explain. More of like a trail. It's not even, I don't even want to say it's a train wreck that you can't stop watching, because it's not really a train wreck. It's just Saltburn is bananas. Good. Sick, but bananas good. Like it's you won't want to stop watching it. It's just so strange. It makes you feel so weird. I want to watch Traders too, but I tried to. I know. Well, listen, it took me years, Mamir, to be able to watch anything that had to do with drugs. Like Hustle is one of my favorite movies. Now, Hustle and Flow, not Hustle, Hustle and Flow. But it took me years to watch anything. Requiem is just one of those ones. And then Dream a Little Dream. It's one of those vibes, but Saltburn has that kind of vibe. It's not that nothing like those movies, but there's a weird vibe that you just can't. Yeah, like you just can't explain. And I want you guys to watch it and tell me what you think. Not to watch Saltburn, I don't know. Maybe tell me in privately why they told you not to watch it, because I can't see other than maybe there's only 2 reasons why somebody would tell you not to watch it, and I don't think they're reasons that you would not watch a movie. You have to tell me privately. Yeah, you've recommended a couple of them. I want to go back and look because there's only 2 parts of it that are really gross, though. Yeah, there's only 2 parts. And I remember waiting for those parts. Somebody told me, I watched after Heather McDonald actually was talking about the parts that were gross. And I don't know why she had to point them out, because then all I did was wait an entire movie for those 2 parts to happen, and they weren't that big of a deal. I just didn't watch, I just turned my head at that one point. I was like, oh, okay. Other than that, it's the storyline is outrageous, and that's weird. Yeah. Isn't he interesting? And isn't he's also like in a band, right? Isn't he part of that band too? Traders, Traders, I was watching people review it. Now, I don't know what the deal is with Heather McDonald. She has to review it for money, or it's like an ad. I thought she was actually really into it. So I've been actually watching her review it, and I started to watch it. I remember asking you guys how they win and who, and I still, even watching the 3rd episode now of Traders, of the one that's on now, I don't understand what's happening. I don't get it. Which one are you guys watching? Southern Hospitality. Oh, my guys. It's so good. Southern Hospitality is our new Vanderpump. I'm watching it. I was going to cover it too, but like, I got to see what the schedule looks like because of the shows. Okay. I figured that. Okay. It seems like it. I didn't know that you could do that. I want to get paid to recap a show. How do they do that? First, I got to get monetized. Okay. I can promise you guys now, I'm going to get my ID tomorrow. That is why I didn't monetize for not just that reason. I wasn't good enough to have monetization. I wasn't even getting, I have my Cash App up, by the way. It's in my description. I don't know how to add it to here. Just if anybody ever wanted that. I haven't ever been monetized or asked you guys for money, but because my numbers are up there, I'm going to just do it through YouTube. I'm not going to ask for like a membership or anything like that. But I want to like get paid to. I wonder if once I do that, if I can get paid to do it, because I don't know how to get like sponsors and ads like that. Like I don't know how to do that part, and I don't I'm so afraid of rejection, so I don't even ask people. Hey, can I do your I have StreamYard. You guys get 10% off if you use StreamYard. I have to monetize through my YouTube, through the AdSense, and I don't know how to, but I do know that I have to get my ID, and I have to have my legal name on there, and I have to be able to have that. So I'm doing that tomorrow. I'm going to go change my name legally to my husband. I'm not legally my husband's last name. I don't know. I know. Listen, I know how you feel. This where I live is not the same way around here. Obviously we have to make appointments and everything, but I have to go to Social Security. Thank God they're all it's in the same like parking lot building place. And it's also where probation is as and parole and Camden County Courthouse. And I used to have really bad anxiety having to go back there, like just to go too near probation used to give me anxiety. But the general, okay, I can tell you the general. Okay, this guy who looks like he's 40, he's this 25-year-old guy. He's there in England, I believe. He's at school and he falls in love with his best friend kind of guy who lives at a place called Saltburn, with this huge mansion. It looks like the palace, and it looks like the palace. Anyway, but it's his family's place. It's mom, his dad, and his sister. He invites him to go live there with him. And he ends up falling in love with him, but the guy doesn't know that because he's not into guys. But he sleeps with the sister, he sleeps with the sister and then the cousin, and he sleeps with all the people, ends up unaliving all of them in the very end, and Saltburn gets left to him. Saltburn, the palace place, he's not related to these people. He decides he doesn't want to leave. He ends up unaliving the sister, the brother, all the guy that he unalives all of them because he's very mad at the fact that they think that they own people. And it's just throughout the whole movie, it's just a lot of weird things happen. I don't want to give it all away, but it's good to watch. It's you just, at the very end, you're like, wow. Yeah, I probably just spoiled. I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but you got to see the end of it. The end of it, you're going to be like, wow. But then now what? You're like, there's got to be another one coming. There's got to be Saltburn. There's got to be more to it because they can't just end it the way it ended. But it's like, I understand but I don't understand how you win. You guys have tried to explain it to me already, I think. But I'll drop the link real quick. I don't know if anybody wants to call, but so we talked about this stuff. I really just feel like we go through the franchises and decide which ones we think that need to just be an ultimate girls trip and which ones need to like reboot and take the OGs if they deserve it, make them an ultimate girls trip. Because listen, as much as I've talked shit on every single one and said I will not watch it, I watch it and I'm like, wow, you guys are right. I have had something positive to say about every single ultimate girls trip and I drunk into. She was a whole show. You know, the fact that they weren't even allowed to go to an island, they had to go to Drunk Inda's house for their ultimate girls trip, and then then their next season is in all the women, the same women, just about they get to go to wherever they go to Morocco, and then it gets bagged because of something Brandy does, and then they get screwed. Then it's like you can't even make this stuff up. My opinion now is okay. This is my opinion only on the Brandy, and I believe that Caroline, I believe everything happened that she says happened. I believe Caroline also might have been a little bit more of a participant in maybe the flirting and the hooking up with maybe, and then she had really want to. And then once she realized what she had done to be a part of the group, even though Brandy did what she did, it was hard. You know, I believe everything that Caroline said. I feel that maybe Caroline said, this can never air, my husband, because if Caroline can listen to somebody in that family to write a letter against Dina, then she can be influenced. I feel like she would not want certain things to be aired on television. And if she goes forward with all which I believe, yeah, maybe, you know, Brandy went a little too far, but I feel like it started out with her not wanting it to be seen. And maybe she was a little bit more of a participant than she said she was, because I feel like Brandy pushing for that show to be aired is tells us something. Nobody's suing Brandy, and Brandy's not denying what happened. Caroline is suing Bravo to make sure, and I think it's I think she's doing this to make sure that never airs, not because look, you could literally re-edit that and take them out and put on, but for some reason it's that deep that they're not going to ever, that's not very good. And then the women in that don't ever get that exposure, because we know that Ultimate Girls Trip exposes the women that we did not think about anymore. Not only does it give them exposure again, and we realize, oh yeah, we do like them as the Ultimate Girls Trip kind of group, or the OGs for you know, RHOM. They're not forced to hang out with each other all the time, so they're not going to create drama that's not unresolved. It's not, you know, we get conflict resolution. You're on an island, how could you not? You throw a Kristen Takeman in there, you throw a Kelly Ben Simone in there, and you got an amazing Ultimate Girls Trip. Just get rid of Ramona. Yeah, you're gonna try. Yeah, I'm telling you, I dropped the phone. I'm telling you, like I feel like Morocco not airing it is a mistake. Even though I can't stand the women on there. I mean, I can't stand. Well, it was Taylor, right? Not Taylor. Was it Taylor? No, it was. I don't care about the chick from New York. Who else is on there? Brandy, Caroline, Brandy. Who else is on there? Eva? God, I don't even know now. Yep, I agree. I feel like there's a lot of wording in that court document that tells me that she went along to get along a lot, but I feel it was probably traumatized. I feel it is very inappropriate for Bravo to push Brandy to do what she's done, because if you notice, she's not suing Brandy, she's suing Bravo. So yeah, I feel like Bravo should take some responsibility for pushing that on Caroline and making that a storyline and putting her in a position where she's doing things. She don't want to kiss Brandy. There's no way in hell you're gonna ever convince me that Caroline, whatever in the world, would want to kiss Brandy. I think she might have did it just to get along, go along to get along. Unpolished is on TLC. Yeah. How about like scripted stuff though? Like I want to see, like I don't know. Saltburn got me into wanting to watch movies again. Like I stopped watching anything scripted because I just, unless it was like, I watched the last scripted series I watched was what's it called? Yeah, Alex. That's her name. That's what I want to say. I don't care. I'm not too crazy about her, but whoever else was want to be on the that's that Morocco, which it's been so long now. They're losing that opportunity. And there's no reason they can't actually take those women and do another trip to make up for what they're paying them. They paid them, right? They might as well throw them on another trip and do another show, because it's just not fair for the other women to not have the exposure and be, I don't even know if they got paid. Like somebody got paid, It's hard to get into scripted when you watch reality TV for so long. I know, and I'm telling you, Sons of Anarchy I'm still so very emotionally invested into that. It's over. It's been over for a while. That series, and Ozark. That's what I was trying to tell you. Ozark is my other very favorite. I got very emotionally invested in Ozarks. So good with Jason Bateman. And then The Affair, which was on Showtime a long time ago, is such a good series. It is so freaking good and so hot. But yeah, Alex McCord. See, okay, so we have, I don't know what's bad. I'm assuming that the one that I can't talk about is going to replace Tuesday nights. Or was it Wednesday nights? Beverly Hills Wednesday nights. So I'm going to have to find something to talk about on Friday. I'm assuming it's Atlanta coming back, right? Atlanta's going to have to replace, we're losing Miami and Beverly Hills. What else do I talk about? Vanderpump's here. We got Vanderpump. What am I missing? Potomac's over. I'm not talking about Potomac. It's only going to be Atlanta. Oh my God, guys, who am I missing? You couldn't get into The Affair? Really? Really? I was invested the first 15 minutes. Oh my God, know what else was really good? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh, it's Ozark. Never mind. It's Ozark. I'm thinking of Summer House. Okay. So, but I'm feeling like there can't be just Jersey and Atlanta coming back. We just had 4 franchises running almost at once. We had Salt Lake, Miami, Potomac, and Beverly Hills all running. And then OC at one point. So, yeah, it's going to be, listen, I'll have shows to cover. I watch all of them. I'm just not going to, I'm not, in my opinion, if you were there, the only way I will talk about that franchise is if you and I do a rewatch. And I need to find out, I need to see what y'all say about Melissa. Even though I'm completely on Teresa's side, I'm just team not Louis. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say his name. Am I allowed to say his name? I think I'm allowed to say his name. Yikes. I feel like there's going to be a C&D in my Larsa.
Hey, happy Monday, y'all. That was a good double recap.
Yeah, I missed one.
Yeah, that was, and I agree. Real Housewives of Miami is 10. It's on 10. Yeah. For sure. Larsa, I don't like Larsa, and people were like, oh, well, Larsa, she was being kind of nice, but it's all for, she's not just nice. She's nice for a reason. She's kind of like Giselle in Potomac. She's always plotting. She's thinking maniacal things. She's not really trying to be anybody's friend. She's a self-centered, self-absorbed, selfish type person. Every interaction that she's had with Gertie has been very disturbing to me so far this season, where she needs to have more grace with Gertie, but she keeps on antagonizing Gertie and being super confrontational with her. And I don't know.
She doesn't know how to apologize.
Right. And then with Keke called Larsa out on needing her to be her friend still. She's like, I miss you. We used to do everything together. And all Larsa had to say was go get your own man kind of thing. Like, that's not friendly. And I
Lisa.
love Keke telling off Lisa and her entitled Karen ass. That was all Karenish behavior, throwing burritos at the dog, saying that's the best food they ever had. And then telling Keke that it's not her job to fix her childhood trauma when that bitch has been crying to us for the last 2 years about Lenny. I wish we all would have turned to her in unison and said, fixing your trauma with Lenny isn't our responsibility. Like, who are you? Who are you? That's
and your problem, not your problem. If you want more money, is not really a problem.
Yeah,
it's not a real life problem, hon.
Right.
It's a problem to have that you need more money from your husband.
And I was so glad that Keke stood up to her in that moment. And but also in that moment, I thought it was really interesting that Lisa in the group is allowed, well, the way it's edited is that Lisa is allowed to treat everybody the way she treats them, and everybody's okay with that. There's no clutching pearls, there's no gasps for air. I mean, and she says some very
disturbing,
not politically correct stuff, and nobody's grasping nothing. Keke says what she said to Lisa, and then when Lisa said a horrible statement, it's not my job to fix your childhood trauma. The only one that gasped was Gertie. And then when Keke stood up and said, well, maybe this is your karma, that's when everybody's clutching pearls. And I thought that was very telling within this group, that they kind of, and I've said it before, like they pass certain people tissues and console them greatly. And other people, it's kind of like, oh, just get over it, and I don't agree with that part.
Saying that you're confident with Lenny, it's really not that bad compared to what you said to her about your childhood trauma, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Honestly, you chose not to look the other way with Lenny. It probably is your trauma, Lisa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not a bad karma. They're not bad problems to have. So
right. And the karma of it, I think, was just that you're so self-absorbed.
Right. Yeah.
That anyone who's that self-absorbed in what's supposed to be a relationship, you're going to end up finding out that you needed that other person. And she's finding out the hard way. So it is her karma. It's definitely her Karmageddon. Gertie. Love Gertie. Love Nicole. Julia. Oh my gosh. Is Julia being a little pot stirrer this season? Did she have to go out on the patio and tell Lisa that they were talking about her and she didn't have to, but I liked how she immediately owned that she was just causing trouble.
Why though? Like why?
Yeah, why? At least she's been quite the bone carrier. She goes from sweet with goats to being Lisa Rinna in training.
But she gets messy.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
at least it gets resolved for the most part.
Right. But I really like the show, and I love your reviews, and yeah.
It seems like people do enjoy this better than like having to watch the criminalistic behavior.
Right.
Like we're getting into like having to like not be dependent on people like the Jen South story, which took 10 years of my life still. And we still listen. If we're gonna have to watch Erica, now we're gonna have to watch her Rich Report. So I say get rid of Kyle.
Yeah.
No, am I echoing for you guys?
Yeah, it's kind of an echo for me too. I'll mute mine.
Okay. Let me say, is that her? Okay. I feel like literally like with we're gonna have to see Erica, if you're gonna keep her on the show, then we're gonna have to see her go through all these court things. If she's gonna talk about her getting whatever she thinks she's getting ahead by this appeal, which we know does not end up happening. Listen, if she's showing her fakeness as fake getting along with these people, listen, all I want them to do is go after Kyle at the reunion, and then I'm good. That'll be my resolution with Beverly Hills, because I enjoy them getting along. Like if they're going on vacation together and they're liking each other, I can like that. I'll deal with it if it's fake.
Yeah.
It's not making us angry. It's not like I'm watching, because I enjoyed Salt Lake when I thought they were all friends at the Bahamas, Bermuda.
Right. I like it better when
Then
it
was to
feels.
find out how fake it was the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I don't know if Bravo is listening to us or not, but I hope that the numbers show that we are enjoying this resolution. Even with Erica getting her apology that wasn't even owed.
She wasn't even owed, and that's like all
And she got
entitlement.
it.
Look, she
Yeah,
needs to
she
go
got it.
ask. She should have asked the LA Times for an apology. Don't ask me for an apology for reading something
I
and
know.
having an opinion. That's the world we're living in. It's so freaking crazy. How is it my fault that when I dissect the truth, I have an opinion? That's
See,
not
this
my
is
fault. It's
right.
your fault for giving me the material to dissect.
I feel like that these women know by now that we are not going to allow that they can pretend to apologize to Erica, but the social media and the violence, we're not going to let it go. We'll go. They know that we'll take care of it.
Right. Like it's easier for them at this point to just
Let me
move
just
right
give them
along.
an apology so we can get along to get along and keep my job.
Yeah.
Let the bloggers take care of Erica and tell her how stupid that is. Asking
right. I wish Bravo would take care of Erica and take her off my screen because she only met with those victims for camera time.
It's weird. Oh my God, did you see the Hulu doc number 2?
Yeah, I watched it. Me and my friend, we did a watch party with it. And she's not even on Beverly Hills like that. And she was like, no, this bitch isn't. And she's on TV right now. I said, yeah. It was amazing. She was very like, I can't believe Bravo is still with her.
That's
and
why
all the money was funded, her entire persona. And then she gets a spinoff because of her persona that was bought with burn victims' money. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. I know. But I did like, also, are we sticking on Miami? That island of the dolls was weird. I would have never got off the boat to use the bathroom there. I would have peed off the side of the boat before I got off the island to go to the bathroom on that place.
I'm all about saving animals, stuffed animals, and I rescue them out of the trash and all. But that was not that. That was like some Annabelle stuff. And then to tell them that the dolls are haunted. I'm sorry, what? Like, I'm sorry, that entity could have jumped on, like, an invisible entity could have jumped onto one of them ladies and went home with them on the boat. And I'm telling you, Gertie got really, really sick, remember? All of a sudden, Julia starts really crying, and like Alexi's crying. Everything went south the second they pulled up to them things, and these women went to the bathroom or wherever they had to do. It was like all of a sudden everything was horrible. It was a really bad scene, and I was like, the mariachi band's still playing, and Lisa's still trying to take pictures with it. It's like, Lisa, open your eyes and read the room. Shut the mariachi band up. Your friend is sick, who has cancer, is throwing up. Your other friend's having a nervous breakdown because I wouldn't want to see those dolls either.
That's the thing. That was a perfect example of Lisa's self-absorption. She has nothing for anybody else that's not named Lisa Hochstein.
I know. She has, and then she still, even if they're like, okay, well, like the half apology that she gives, she still, I hope by the reunion, she realizes how this looks. Like, I hope she watches, well, she hasn't, because I watched her on Watch Happens Live. She's not understanding what she's doing, how it's coming off, and I don't think she cares, actually, which is kind of weird. It kind of makes me not really feel bad for her in a way. Like, maybe Jody sees something in her. Like, there is a heart in there somewhere. Obviously, she wants to be a wife and a mother and all that, but she just is lost in the money part of it. Like, she can have all that, and she doesn't need to have a house where her boyfriend has to pay for half. Like, why can't you just live below your means? Like, we know what you make. Like, these women act like they don't make any money on the show. They do by now.
Right? Well, we hope they do.
I mean,
they do.
$900,000 in that season is not that bad. People live off a lot less. So Trashly on Potomac to fucking sit there and say she's not divorcing Michael, but she has this image of her sitting on the corner with her mom who were evicted and when they were kids. Bitch, you got a job, okay? You have a job where you make almost $1 million a season, and you're telling me that's your fear, that you're going to be homeless and on the street?
That's because I feel like that was because she knows she hasn't set herself up. She's been
But
playing the wife. She
makes a lot of money on this show.
No, but I mean, she hasn't set herself up. So
how
the lady on Married to Medicine last night, her husband was like, "Where's my $150,000?" And she told Dr. Heavenly that she had put that to the side for her and her kids.
Well, good.
And that's the kind of stuff that Ashley's forehead should have been thinking, instead of thinking that she was so cute having thruples that she was going to be able to like trap him longer or something. I don't know. But Ashley is proven herself to not be business savvy or to have any acumen as far as enterprise, because she didn't get her name on any leases. I mean, on any mortgages.
I know, but let me ask you a question. Her paychecks. Why would her paychecks from Bravo? Why would she give them to Michael? If Michael's done fuck her,
because she's stupid. Her head is full of air,
like,
and
how
she is stupid. What woman? Because he's pimping her too. Why would you be on a reality show and give baby hands Gollum your money, but he's a millionaire and he supposedly owned the Watergate Towers, but you giving him your dimes, and then you're left with no dimes, and the house is in the son's name and the son's name, and you sitting on the show crying because you're stupid, and you know you're stupid.
Like, I'm shocked that nobody's saying to her, "Wait a minute, Ashley, you were with him for 11 years, and you didn't think the last 6 years to put your Bravo paychecks aside because you knew the situation with him is the same one. Nothing has changed. The only thing has changed is his white ass got caught, and we saw the camera, we saw his white butt with the little pictures, and he gets caught being this little crappy person, whatever piece of shit that he sues. He gets to sue Candace. Nobody gets, Candace gets no say in whether she gets to film with his wife or not. Which I feel like I'm not filming with them. Anything could be used against me in court. That's his wife. So hello. You mean that your paychecks with your name on them, Trashly, went to a man who screwed you out of your money, screwed you out of anything when you got divorced, and like literally, he really swindled that. So she would really get nothing. And she really still didn't.
And that's so stupid of her. Look,
I know.
Look, if I ever lived under a freeway in my life, and then got with a millionaire, and then he talked me into signing my checks over to him or something, and the peen wasn't even that good. Look at Michael. He's not even putting it down. Now, he might be a freak, but he's not putting it down. He's not dickmatizing nobody. You know what I'm saying?
How does a lawyer, I don't understand how she has no recourse to say, he's just taking my paychecks for 6 years. I don't understand how she doesn't get anything if she's divorced.
Because she's I told you. When your head is full of air, that's what you get.
Now, watch Robin have no money either.
Robin is a problem. Robin needs to go. And for her whole tagline to be like, "I don't care," we can tell when we don't care. We can tell that you don't care, and that's why we don't care, Robin.
Yeah.
I
think about her a lot. Like, do I feel bad for her? But I feel bad maybe because she's taking against him very insecure because she's allowing him to literally
and their whole relationship is weird anyway. If we really look at that, where it started, he moved into her house
at 18,
and they were supposed to be like brother and sister, and then they end up being in a romantic relationship and getting married. That's weird. Yeah, like, didn't they need to take him in? Isn't it one of those stories like they took him in because there was stuff going on with his house? Somebody correct me. But I vaguely remember that being part of the story of how they even met, was that he lived with them when they were teenagers, and that's how they came to be romantic. So that's weird.
Yeah.
And that's why he treats her like his sister.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Because he said his parents are not around. Her parents are like his parents.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just weird. I think they would have been better to just stay really good friends and not try to do this romantic thing, because
they had kids.
Yeah, but they ended up getting pregnant and having kids and whatever. Yeah. But and then why are they even in the Dominican Republic? What are they there for again?
Robin's thing or something. Is it Robin's trip?
Yeah, but why? What's she got going on? She don't do nothing.
I don't even know. I don't think anything.
Is that where they go get the hats from? The kids in Mexico? I mean, in Dominican Republic?
I think so.
Why are they even there? I don't understand.
It's the finale, right? Or no?
No, next week should be the finale. I think we get another. I think everybody's doing 14.
Robin set up Porsha. What do you mean? Set up Porsha? Did I miss? Celebrating.
Oh, what's that say?
Oh, they're celebrating.
Celebrating. That's not why they're there, Emmanuel. I don't think. Hey, Emmanuel, that's not why they're there. They're there because of Robin, and that's why she got the big room, was because it was her birthday. But they're not there for that reason. It's something about a business Robin has or something.
Oh, isn't she like buying out? I can't. I don't want to play too loud. I feel like I'm echoing so bad. What did I say back?
Yeah, that's a Mary Cosby inbred ish right there.
Yeah.
Heather's inbred chin is working over it.
I just think, why not just be honest? Like, if you're not into each other, and why get married? I guess unless you don't want to go against them in court. That's the only reason.
Part.
Like, she didn't even want to have her family at the wedding. Like, it says something when you don't want to have a big production and you didn't want to do all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute.
And I don't even know that was a full-on. I think that was just some kind of ceremony. Was it a full-on marriage, or was it just a ceremony?
That's a good question. That sounds like something that happened around my way too. I feel like there is a wedding that doesn't have to be legalized. Look, you can. There's plenty of people for millions. I know up until about 10 years ago that were in love that could not get married legally, and nothing, and no fault of their own. So I feel like you don't even really need that piece of paper at this point, right? You can appear to be married, and you can have that spiritual thing, and maybe it's just not financially safe to legalize that marriage,
Well, and I don't know how much he would want his finances with her anyway, since she was the reason they lost all their money the first time around.
Well, he doesn't even have a job either. Now, think about it.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a job now.
Does she still have embezzlement? I mean, embroiderment. What's it called?
That what's that Title 59 thing? Is he still under that, and that's why he can't get a job?
Is that what that? So I don't know what that violation is.
That title thing has something to do with collegiate stuff, and it's very bad. And that's why Robin was like, "Why'd you guys mention that and say I was blaming for that?" Because it's very serious, very, very serious.
It's very basic. I don't think he's gonna get it.
Yeah, I don't know that he can get rehired with that whole thing and all this commotion.
No.
But he can teach kids basketball.
He could do something.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, you don't want to be on the friend.
Did you see Potomac last night?
Yes.
Do you watch? How do you feel about this Nneka Wendy thing?
I'm actually mad at Wendy a little bit.
Continue.
Okay, so I feel like I feel like Wendy's mom had every right to make a phone call and say, look, because of what was out in the story that was out about being Osu, right? Maybe they don't know where that came from. So yes, I would not want people to say my name or use my name to get on any kind of show or any. So maybe like that phone call to her was made, right? Wendy's mom, but I don't think when her saying, I'm going to pray for you because they're Catholic or whatever and so on, I don't feel like her saying that, I don't know, I'm going to put your name on the list or whatever her mom said. I don't feel like that was saying to Nneka's, whoever she said it to, the way that Nneka was presented to Nneka. I don't feel, but I feel like it was presented to Nneka that way. And Wendy was unaware of it. And that put them in a position to not understand each other. So with all, like in the very beginning, Nneka went in hard on her. There was a crackhead comment, a bitch comment, or a bitch first and crackhead, all that. It looked like maybe they could probably resolve it. Was something we could get over, resolve, whatever, resolve or whatever. But when we move on and like we're all like, and people are getting mad at Wendy, and I'm like, no, it's not Wendy's fault. It's not Wendy's fault. They're trying to push her out. Nneka's taking, orders from Robin. Now I feel like Nneka apologizing to Wendy and not understanding that, Wendy's, what you said about my mom, her still pushing the shrine thing or whatever, I don't like that. But I also feel like Wendy is not taking accountability for a couple things. Like she's not, the crackhead comment, she's not asking about it. I don't know. I feel like at this point we can resolve this. I feel like maybe, Nneka's got to just be like, look, your mom, it wasn't said like that. I don't know how it's destroying their families. I don't know how it's like, it's affecting my children, and then it's affecting my children. It wasn't even those two that did this, right? So I feel like they both were set up to have this argument, but now knowing that the things that they said to each other, they both have to just agree to, like, I think Nneka needs to take accountability for saying that her mom, stop saying that my mom said your mom was going to put me on a shrine. However she's wording it, that's not what she meant. And I really do believe that Wendy's mom didn't mean that. But there was a phone call made. And again, yeah, maybe she didn't, I don't think Wendy wants to be the only Nigerian woman on the show. I don't think that at all. I think they're both extremely educated, and there can be room for two of them. I feel like they were set up. Now, Nneka is willing to move on, and I feel like that's the best thing to do at this point, because we can't just keep going on and on and on. But Wendy, her refusal to like move on from this or whatever, I just feel like is hurting her in the end, because I feel like I don't want to say that she's losing here. Like I'm fighting her, like she's not going to win this fight, I feel like, unfortunately, but she's also not giving in. She doesn't really have to, but just for resolution, just to get through the show, because I feel like we have other things that are coming up that are going to take, like the fact that Giselle hired somebody for a mistress and all that, that's going to take precedent, and we're going to focus on that. And then we're going to have this thing going on over here, which they were both set up to have this argument. And it's just, now it's making them look really like the problem, when really, I don't know. What do you think?
Awesome. I agree with that, but I kind of feel different. So okay. Wendy's been on the show. She's been faced since she got on with getting attacked by the green-eyed bandits and whatever. And then there was that time when Karen was like, I don't know her like that, and all of that stuff. And she's fought her way out of there. And now she's finally finding an okay place on the thing. She decided to live without Giselle. She's trying to make amends with Forehead, and her and Robin are on a permanent pause. So her real only friend was Candace, and it could have been Nneka. You're right. They could have been a Nigerian duo. But why didn't Nneka consider that before she came in the way she came in? Look, if you're going to go to a party at a new person's house, are you going to go in tipping over their vases and talking about, I'm here, bitch. I'm here, bitch. And then when they're like, ooh, you're ghetto, that sounds a little crackheady, get mad that they called you a ghetto crackhead? No, you walked in the party like you were a ghetto crackhead. So I'm calling you what you just acted like. And also, if you wanted us to be this Nigerian duo, and you have my number because we both know Libby.
Yeah.
Then why were all these side conversations with these people who don't fuck with me because you've watched the show? So you went to my enemy's house and sat on my enemy's couch and talked about me with my enemies in some disparaging light. So you're going to go to my enemies to explain to them that my mom allegedly submitted your name to a shrine, but you're not going to call me, and you have my number. So you decided to come to this place where I'm usually to cause trouble for me in my circle, in my friend group, because even if we're not friends, they've been around me longer, Nneka. So these are technically more my friends than yours. But Nneka really uses that word loosely. She's been on our screen for 5 minutes. She's like, oh, my real friends are here to celebrate my wine. Oh, my real friends. Oh, my friends. I just want to spend time with my friends. I'm like, you're gonna learn to be more discerning on this cast, because the people you are calling friend are looking for ways to tear you and your husband, who's always gone for a month at a time.
That's true. I know. Now you remind me of, you're not done. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. I feel like Nneka went about it all wrong. for her to now cry victim and now cry bully. And now you can't, I keep telling you, you can't be a victim and a villain on these shows at the same time. It doesn't work for the viewers. You can pick one. So if you were going to be a victim, then you should have stayed, oh my God, her mom put a thing on me. I have no idea what that was about. You shouldn't have popped off with bitch. You shouldn't have popped off with all this other stuff that makes us think you ready if you're not ready. And me as Wendy, I don't have to accept your timed apology now that you realize you're looking extra stupid. You're looking extra thirsty, and you look like you came in way too hot. So now you're having to back pedal and pussy pop because you see that you're looking stupid. And even Leba came over and was like, well, maybe you guys can. Okay. Now, Wendy does not have to accept it. Wendy, we already know she loves her mom. She's not trying to have nobody say nothing bad about Miss Jenkins. Okay.
Yeah.
She loves her mom to her detriment. She don't even know who she is as a grown woman because she respects and loves her mom so much that she lived her mom's dreams. Okay, that's how deep it is in their culture. She lived her mom's dreams of becoming a Dr. Wendy Osefo to only come on our screens and think, well, maybe I want to be a candle maker. Maybe I want to be a television host. Like, she really doesn't even know who she is because of the ultimate respect she has for her mother's position in her life. Yeah. So when your fellow countrywoman takes a minute to come in here and tear down the one thing that you pride yourself in, and then give me a half-ass apology talking about, well, I'm sorry I said the witch and I'm sorry I said the bitch, but you did say crackhead. But I said it after you called me a bitch and called my mom a witch. So I don't have to apologize in tandem with you because you technically started this.
True.
And you don't get to tell me how long I get to be mad at what you started. And you did affect my kids because the people already are on TV telling my kids at school, you guys are Osu. Telling my kids at school that, oh, your grandma's a witch too, and you're Osu. So all this stuff is being brought up on a global television show with Wendy's family's name. And she knows it because she's in the same culture, but she came on this show and did it that way. She's wrong. She should have tapped Wendy on the shoulder first instead of sitting down with the person that gives the zero fucks on the show, Robin, and then follow it up by talking to Trashley's five head. No way. You watched the show. You seen how they treated your countrywoman. And this is how you came in because you wanted to try to take her down. And now you're trying to spin it like, oh, well, we could have both been here, but she's acting like she doesn't want another Nigerian on the show. Bitch, you came in like you didn't want to have the other Nigerian on the show. That's how I took it. Because she knows the culture. She knows the trigger words. And she still chose to come in like that. Even if her truth was that your mom called me and said some crazy shit, that's all the more reason to pull her to the side and be like, ooh, your mom called me and said some crazy shit and we're on the show. How do you want us to handle this? And they could have taken care of all of that. But no, Nneka was trying to create a moment on Wendy's back. That's why she's like, oh, she has one of those PhDs. Everything she said from the moment that Wendy's name came up on camera has been slighted and shady. But now she's like, oh, I don't know why she doesn't want to be my friend because you're an evil bitch. And you haven't had one authentic moment with her. And you keep trying to just use her for camera time. That's what I have to say.
Now, what did you think about the fact that right when Wendy left, they broke the fourth wall and Nneka made them take their mic off? I feel like that's what made me think that they pushed it. I'm not saying she's right, but I feel like we can talk about it in 1 second. I feel like the producers have been pushing this whole thing because I think the producers were pushing Nneka to go after Wendy, and that's why she stopped and made their take off her mic and was saying like, I'm not doing this anymore. She's not listening.
I agree. I think the producers probably had a lot more to do with it. And they also probably thought that Wendy was going to be a pushover like usual and just be like, okay, fine, let's try to move on. But I think it really hurt her. You don't talk about Wendy's mom. Just don't talk about her mom. That, and I think it would have been fine. But that hot mic moment was so Lisa Barlow. She tried to say all that on the thing. I tried to apologize, but she didn't like the way I apologized. She
They
didn't
were
accept it the way I said it. That's what she said. She didn't accept it the way I said it because it wasn't a fucking apology.
right. But I
I'm
also
sorry
feel
for
like
my
she was
swears.
her, and she was like, "I am not doing that. You're like, you're not pushing me. Take off my mic. You're not going to push me to keep fighting with this woman." Hi, man. Hi, Emmanuel.
Hey,
Man.
Hey,
Hi.
Nanny.
hey
The floor
guys.
is yours.
What was that?
The floor is yours.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, you guys already know I disagree with everything that was just said. I think Nneka is the only victim. I think she's the only victim in this situation, and I think last night it was
That's
pretty
true,
clear
though.
that Wendy doesn't want to move on, and I think that Wendy is. It's very interesting that she has been complaining for years about the Green Eye Bandits not wanting to, you know, make things right by her. But here we have this woman, this Nigerian beautiful woman, trying to make things right. Multiple times she has come to Wendy on various occasions saying, "Let's try and move on," and she doesn't have to do that. What would Nneka gain from trying to fix things with Wendy? I need somebody to answer me that. Why would she do that? Because she's friends with everyone. She's friends with Giselle. She's friends with Robin. She's oh, give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
I think she would do that because
The
they're
producers would.
both Nigerian and it's expected of them. I think that's why she would do it. And because her own Nigerian people are expecting that. And so are Wendy's. And so they
Or the,
wanted her to apologize for some reason.
I
Okay,
also
sorry about
feel
that.
like they were set
So
up.
yeah, I was
That
saying, she's friends with Giselle, she's friends with Robin, she's friends with Ashley, she's friends with Cherie, she's friends with Mia, she's even friendly with Candace. There's really no need for her to get to try and make things out with try and fix things with Wendy. The only thing I can think of is she has a good heart, so she wants to make things right. Now, my question to Wendy Osefo is this: you have repeatedly said on multiple platforms that as Nigerians, you guys know those trigger words. Y'all know what the stereotypes are. Well, if you guys are so educated on the stereotypes and on the trigger words, then why would Susan think it was okay to say the word shrine? If it's such a trigger word, why even mention that in the phone call?
who said that?
You get what I
Susan.
mean? Susan, Wendy's mom, who admitted to
Oh, that's her
calling
mom.
Lebe.
I.
Remember when she was on the couch with Wendy, she admitted, she said, I did call her to tell her
That's
that
not
it's easy
Wendy
to make
and
to make
Nneka's
to
fault,
make
though.
enemies. Why are you telling Lebe that Nneka is a possible enemy? What do you know about her to say that stuff? So I don't think Wendy started this. I think her problematic mother started this. So
Yes, yes.
Nneka was mad, and she was mad, and I can't get past people not
I
expecting her
listen.
to be mad. And I
I
think that
feel like,
Nneka regrets this happening on camera. I really do.
yeah, that's what I think too. I think that she sees that she looks stupid
Yeah.
and she is trying to fix her appearance
What's not
because
even
it
their
looks like she
fault.
was doing that
I
on
think they were
purpose.
set up between her mom's conversation was misunderstood. It warranted though. Like, yes, you should not. If we have a story out there about us. I don't know who said it, so I'd appreciate it if you didn't use my name to get on the show, or however her mom said it. I don't feel like I don't know if I
And then
tried.
even in the text that got released by Wendy between her and Leba,
See, I didn't
there
even
was
know that. Like, I didn't even if there was the text message released or
back and forth that looks like it happened during the same time the phone calls were happening.
so like they did know
So
each other and all
Leba,
that was going on like between
Leba
their
reached out to Wendy about Nneka.
yeah
Wendy refused to do it. She said, I don't want to be involved.
yeah
Leba kept trying to force the issue.
right
She ended up doing some other things that we have no idea about behind
right
the scenes that made Susan do a
yeah
call that says you can make enemies this way.
yeah
She didn't admit to burning any shrine stuff, and even if she is burning a candle, that's not a total shrine.
it's not
But
I have a cross and a candle in my house. Am I have a shrine?
yeah, like I burn candles all the time, actually.
We do it
So
for like people's like we do it to like, we pray for you or like a good way or a bad way. But
yeah,
or if they now know this about each other that your family our families are the ones arguing about you and you, I
Mm-hmm.
think that they should be able. Her and Wendy, yeah, they said some shit.
And
That,
then why
yeah.
I'm with Wendy. What did I do to you, Nneka? Name it.
No,
Name it. I'm gonna get Sutton with you. Name it. Name it. Name it.
man.
Name it. And she couldn't name it because Wendy has done nothing to Nneka to make her act and treat her this way in her friend group. These were my friends before you, allegedly, they were available to be my friends. But these were my people group before you got here. And you're going to go around to these people and say this stuff and get them thinking all this stuff about me.
So do you think
Nneka's
Wendy
wrong.
would?
Nneka is wrong. And I think she needs to stop coming with these half-ass apologies and looking for Wendy to say something back to her. Just apologize from her heart, the way she spoke from her chest when she was calling her a bitch and her mom a witch. Apologize the same way, and then maybe Wendy will accept it. But all of this, I'll apologize if you apologize, and you mentioned crack, and you did this, and you did, that's not even an apology. That's fake
But
apology.
here's the thing, though. How many freaking times can someone apologize and for the other person to accept? Nneka has apologized 3
Until
times now.
you get an
At the happy
authentic apology, none of them work. None of
Curves,
them work.
Curves, if we get in a fight and I apologize, but you don't think it's a genuine, that's not my problem anymore. You know, you get what I'm saying? So she apologized at the Happy Eddie event. She apologized at Surrey County, and she now apologized at this lunch. Now Wendy is refusing to move forward. The ball is in her court, and I
Well, she's
beg.
taking good notes from Giselle. Then let her refuse
Well,
to
yeah,
move
you
forward.
know what?
Let it.
She's being exactly everything that she complained about. She is becoming just that. So she better pick a
Mm-hmm.
struggle. Is she gonna be the victim or is she gonna be the villain? Because she can't be
Right,
both. And
right. Because she cannot be both.
I hope Nneka does not degrade herself any longer trying to apologize to this woman because she's been stepping down her throne all these episodes
Oh
trying to
yeah, the
apologize.
throne that Giselle gave to her. Mm-hmm. I
Mm-hmm.
think
Yep.
Nneka. I appreciate that people like her so much. But why? What has she given to the show? What has she done? What has she presented? What's her storyline that's original, that hasn't been regurgitated from another Housewives franchise noob? What has she done that is, except for cause havoc and then feel bad about it? What has Nneka brought to the show except for confusion? What has she brought? And long, extremely long fingers. What has she
Sister,
brought to the show?
and she comes from a royal family.
But she doesn't act royal. She acts like peasantry. She came in like a peasant. Royalty would have talked to another queen. They wouldn't have started at the riffraff. She would have talked to her Nigerian princess sister first if she was real royalty. But real royalty only talks like that. But she's reaching down to talk to Ashley and Robin, but she's a queen. Come on now.
Oh, and can I bring up something else? I don't like the way Wendy was talking to her so-called friend Kriana.
What was
Who's
she saying?
Kriana?
Notice
Who's
that?
Kriana anyway? Whose friend is this really?
So she came on the show as Wendy's friend. That's what like the description says.
What
But
year?
when they were distributing the rooms and Wendy was like, "You go over there," like, and then the fact that Giselle, you see that Giselle, she's evil but she's smart. She's already trying to recruit her. She
Yeah.
said none of them have gone to go check up on her, so I'm gonna go, and she did.
But she also said that she invited her. So why was it Wendy's friend under her, but Giselle brought her around because he works with Cal? Like, see how that fake
Invitation
introductions, they're trying to
because
confuse us again, you guys. And the new girl kind of looked like the Levy people.
Like yeah.
Levitt and the other one that was over on her couch the other day. When they came to the unpacking party. She looks like she could be related. Yeah.
Her sister. Wasn't her sister?
Right. Yeah, is
Like,
Creona Levy's sister or something?
I think, I don't know.
They
I
look
thought,
a
is
little
it
bit
Kiana
like-
or Kiana? Was it Kiana that was coming to the?
Yeah, so Creana, she was on the plane and
Okay,
she got sick, and then she ended up in the double room by herself.
Okay,
But I don't know I have no idea who this chick is, you guys. I have no idea.
they haven't properly introduced her. Nothing. I mean, she got a confessional last night, but
I was
did
like,
a horrible job ushering her in.
So, can we talk about Porsha? You guys want to talk about Porsha? I don't know what's happening.
Oh yes, let's talk about that.
So, what
I
happened?
feel you go first, Manny, because it's probably gonna be opposite today.
So I love Porsha. Porsha is the queen, and she's gonna bring back life into Atlanta. I think it's really interesting that this news came out a few days after she announced that she's coming to the show.
Okay.
Don't you think? And
What news?
Definitely. Okay, so she doesn't even know the news. Okay, so
Yeah.
Krista, Simon, Porsha Gobadia's new husband, who was previously married to Fallon Gobadia on Real Housewives of Atlanta, has a sordid past. And as it turns out, in the 80s and early 80s and 90s, when he first came to this country, he was trying to get residency and citizenship, but he was doing things that the forefathers did, which was all kind of crimey stuff, as it turned out, some check stuff, some credit card stuff, some ID stuff, and he kept getting turned down for citizenship. So then he came back and used somebody else's name, and he got a permanent resident card. And then after he married Porsha, he decided to take his ass down to the immigration office and ask him to make him a citizen again. And they were like, "Oh, well, let's take a look at what your history is." And they were like, "Oh, but sir, in 1980 you did this, in 1990 you did that, and then as it turns out, your permanent residency was gotten fraudulently, and he pleaded guilty to a felony ID theft and all this stuff." But my thing is that all this stuff happened when Porsha was like, what, 5? So this is not an Erica Jane situation. Erica Jane profited in real time off of Tom Girardi's fraudulent criminal activity.
Wait a minute.
Porsha Gobadia met this man after he's been established and all this stuff. And she has nothing to do with this. I hate that the people even try to bring her up, talking about Porsha's man is a fraud. He was a fraud. Right. The private jets that they're on would indicate that the fraudulency has ended to a degree. And I'm very upset that people are running this story that is as connected to Porsha. And everybody's like, oh, and Ken is going to have a field day. It happened when Porsha was 3. If Ken tries to bring it up as a detriment to Portia's happiness, he's going to look really stupid.
But why are we talking about this now?
Because the news just broke out. But here's the thing. And
let me ask you a question real quick. Is he allowed to be a U.S. citizen now?
We don't know. But what I wanted to say is that
right
it's
now,
really
there's
it's
the
really,
immigration attorney said that the immigration office makes mistakes all the time.
So
and that it's even possible that some of the stuff they're saying that he did could possibly not even be him, because they don't have the best records either.
Doubt it now.
And here's the thing. It's really not that uncommon for immigrants to change their names and information when they get here. So, like, I agree with Curbs. The notion that they're going to try and make this like a Tom Girardi is kind of false. But Curbs, I do think that Toxic Trick Ken is going to bring this up. I really do. You know how she is.
She's sitting there doing her, what's that mustache? Those wax mustache, maniacal, evil genius mustache, making a dossier, trying to bring up, but she's going to fall flat. Because it could have, that means the same thing was true for Fallon when you guys were all over there fawning over Fallon's digs. The same man was involved. So
obviously she married him. He's obviously allowed to be in the U.S. now, right? This stuff is not a secret. It just came out, apparently.
Right.
Maybe everybody's probably already known about this, right?
So they're saying that when everything happened with Fallon, there's a content creator that did a deep dive and actually said all this stuff before. And it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It happened in 1980.
Right. So what the fuck is the problem now? Why Porsha obviously got back on the show? I feel like they made a Porsha. I don't know why Candy left. Do we know why Candy really left? Do we know at all? Or
Well, they also said that he had several marriages that were called into question, and
But like before though, or like if he's legally now married to Porsha, right?
yes,
He's allowed
yes,
to be in the U.S. His name's Simon Gubadia. Good body, I call him Simon Gubadia now because she's got a good body, and I don't know how to say his last name. Why bringing that up is like, who gives a fuck? Everybody knew about that. So,
yeah.
like,
It told to me it is. To me it
to me,
is.
it's not a big deal. It's not a storyline. It's over. What do you want to do about it now? There's nothing they can do about it. It's done and over with, right? If he's not in legal trouble now, and his name is legally Simon Gubadia, and she's legally Porsha Gubadia, and he's a legal citizen of the U.S. and Atlanta, where they have to live, reside.
Well, he's a permanent resident alien, I think.
Okay.
So they're talking that he could get a
Okay.
Joe Judy key and get deported if they felt like
Really?
it. Yeah, he could get deported. All kind of stuff could happen.
Well, they might look at him closer now and maybe try to find problems with him to make him like a, maybe
Yeah.
you can have people like, we know Kenya's a snitch, right? Because she
Right.
told everybody what happened at the shower with Mr. Bolo Gate person guy. The big- She told everybody whose butt was up in the air. She told us whose head we were saying, so I wouldn't put it past her to actually try to call people on Simon and be like, hey, he's doing this, or I don't know, may just put him under the radar, which is kind of fucked up. But I feel like if he was in any kind of trouble now, this has been since 1980. Listen,
yeah, it was like in the 80s and 90s, you guys. That's crazy. And the Underground Railroad wasn't even there yet. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
The people did she say what railroad?
She was like, where that? Where that?
Even I was like, oh. And I'm like,
bless Porsha's heart though. Like I really,
but I think she's happy.
See her not caring. And if this is all Ken can say, then I just laugh on my private jet on your way to the cast trip on commercial. No, I would never let Ken on my private jet. I would let everybody else on my private jet to get to all the cast trips, and Ken would always have to fly coach. Ooh, that would be a good payback. Oh, that would be so good.
Yeah. You know what? I feel like Candy was the highest paid housewife, right? 2 million. I don't know like why they I mean, I don't know, maybe they weren't going to pay her. She doesn't need the show, right? But see, do you think she left because Porsha was coming back or no? Do you think that has anything to do with it?
I don't think Porsha and Candy are like that. I think she literally pulled a Nene and was trying to force their hand in negotiation by saying, I'm pulling out, hoping maybe to get a higher thing or something. I don't know. She did it for Candy did it though. Candy did it for herself.
I mean,
I
don't really, unless it's involving him now, I really don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to know the details unless it's affecting him now.
Right.
Like, I don't know what court documents got sent to him this way, right?
Right. And they've been married for a whole year now. And if it wasn't relevant when Fallon was his husband, then it's not relevant while Porsha's his wife.
Right. I mean, yeah, we'll do a deep dive, find out what he did in jail. But if it's not going to affect like his citizenship or they're married, or let's say find out that they're not legally married or something.
Well, they got married in his home country too. So they're legally married even if he got deported.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then I'm like, why? And because of his torrid, application process from the past, him marrying her isn't going to make him a citizen either.
I was going to ask that too. Like, I mean,
that's kind of like up in the air right now because of the past applications being whatever. Them being totally married right now could still not be enough to make him a citizen.
Look at Joe Juno. I mean, he just can't commit any crimes, you know?
Yeah. But I can't wait till Porsha gets back up there. And I would love if Phaedra made some appearances as like Porsha's friend. She doesn't have to be a full-on friend of the show or anything, but I would love to see her reclaim her space on RHOM now that the witch is dead. And there's still going to be a number one slot open on RHOM because it's been open since Nene left. And I don't think that even Ken by herself will be number one on this show. I think
You didn't,
Porsha is going to slide right in and become number one on the show.
you didn't say Kim. Did you say Kim?
I call her Kin because that's what her husband used to call
Oh
her.
God, you scared me. You scared me.
Yeah,
But
I call her Kin because that's what her
I
husband. I'm
thought
not
Kim was coming back
misidentifying
as Kim.
her. Her
I thought,
husband called her that as a
but I
term
don't.
of endearment. I wonder if he called her Kin while they were banging. Ooh,
No,
Kin, this is so good. Ooh, Kin. Ooh, Kin, back it up like that, Kin.
I can't. I'm saying Kim. I thought you were saying. I'm thinking Kim Zolciak. Oh, scared me. So,
Yeah, oil rigs. Yep.
so who's on there? Is it Sheree or?
I don't know if Sheree's coming back. From what Andy said, he said there are going to be some noobs. There's going to be, so
Good.
far he said Porsha, and that it was going to be a good group of girls. I hope so.
And what's her name? Marlo, right?
I sure hope Marlo comes back. Like, to me, Marlo is a breath of fresh air because she's been wanting to be a housewife for so long, and she finally got it. And kudos to her, because Kim isn't the boss of everybody, as it turns out, and she doesn't know everything, as it turns out. And I feel like they gave Marlo a peach to prove to Kim she don't know everything.
I know. And Kenya is just not a friend. Like I feel like if Marlo just calms down, she doesn't need to be extra. I love her storyline with her nephews and taking them in. That's an awesome story for her.
I
And not
love
even
that story.
it's a good thing. Like that's amazing to take on. To take on two teenagers when you don't have kids.
Right.
You don't have a
And
man.
you're a fabulous single lady.
Right. That's amazing. She doesn't need to be all, she doesn't have to be Ratchet Marla. Like she can literally not fight with anybody. We can get along. Maybe just do a little bit of counseling because everybody needs it.
Right.
And now that Candy's not there, maybe she's not going to want to try to compete with anybody. And she'll be just Marla. I like Marla with Teresa Peach. And I like her.
I love Marlo. Yeah. And I love that
her nephew's stories makes me love her more, taking them in
all around. Like she worked on herself to be a better friend in the group, to be like, to make it, instead of like she was just under Nene, she spread herself out to try to get the other ladies to know her over the years. And she worked on her speech impediment, you guys.
Oh, I need to do that. She
even worked on her speech impediment. I was like, that is really a good person, because some people are just like, they don't care, but she was really trying to be her best self all around. I love Marlo. I hope she gets another peach because she keeps it fuzzy. And but please, no Drew. Put Drew someplace in a box and put that Sanya Richards Ross. Let her go breastfeed at home with her whole family at her house.
I forgot about her.
Ugh.
I love her. And that question, let me say, they are her nephews. Yeah, I love it. Do you really think that let's see who's going to judge her? I don't feel like there's anybody in her family that really have any right to judge her, honestly. Like, I mean, she took them and she had to, but like, I feel like that's also, she didn't have to, but she did. But I feel like too, like that responsibility shows that she has, like, I don't know, it just tells me something really, like, whether she was forced to or not, you can tell that she wants to take them in. I feel like it.
And even if she doesn't do it perfectly, like having to take away their stuff or put them out for that week, because look, it's her very first time immersing herself in that. At least when you carry a child or go through an adoption or something, you have time to mentally like really prepare for what you might be encountering. It seemed like these kids were about to be caught up in a system that Marlo knew all too well, and she didn't want her nephews to get in there, so she just hurried up and got him and went right to work with being a momty. And then things got hard and she needed some time to like get her chakras aligned, and so she did kick him out and send him to her friend's house. And I did not think that was selfish, and I hated that the ladies were trying to make her feel bad and like a not good momty for doing that. And actually I feel like there should be a new rule for all momties and moms, where if you ever feel like you need to go drop these little booger pickers off somewhere, that you should get to without having to get judged.
Yeah, I just feel like it just wasn't. I don't know. I don't feel like it was a good decision. It was, they got over it. It wasn't, I don't think it was good for them, but they got over it. She realized it wasn't good for them to do that. But the fact that she realized it wasn't right and she's fixing it and she's taking, getting the therapies, whatever they need, she's giving them the life that, like, even if they're spoiled, whatever, she's, becoming their mom. They're basically their mom. Because I don't know if I don't know what's up with their real mom, if she's, going to get out or whatever, but they don't talk about that part of it, but it seems like, it's going to be good for them, and it's, she doesn't even have a man in her life. So to take on 2 teenage boys is good. And thank God she's there to take them,
Completely.
And I'm sure she'll find somebody. She doesn't have to fake it.
Right.
Oh, who said that? Okay. Who said? I got it. I hear it now. I can hear her. I was trying to figure out what Amy was saying with Porsha. Who said? Okay, now in my head, I hear her saying it. I just feel like, does Marlo and Porsha get along? I forget. Have they ever been?
I thought so.
Yeah,
I don't remember them having any.
I think they're a good, like, strong duo. They could be. I think Porsha could be head of the household. She could be number one girl. Because listen, like everybody has all these criminal pasts. It just seems to be the norm with some of these shows.
Yeah.
Really, has nothing to do with now. It doesn't. It's not affecting now, correct? Unless whatever they're saying, maybe they're gonna have eyes up a little bit more.
Yeah.
But unless he's not doing it, if he's doing anything he's not supposed to be doing, then don't worry about it. Right? Like he has nothing to worry about unless he's doing something illegal.
Yeah, don't worry if you're not doing nothing illegal.
Like honestly, I mean, to be honest, like and I'm sure Porsha has her own money. She has a daughter,
and Portia's smart. She's not getting left with nothing again.
No,
she kept her house. She put her house that she got after the divorce into her mother's name, so that she still has a house if anything goes wrong. I bet she's stacking all of her checks and only living off of Gobadia money. She has her Amazon thing. She wrote that book. She has her hair. She has her sheets. She's like living her best life.
Yeah,
I love it. I feel like it's a great time for her to come back.
I'm upset. I'm just upset that Candy left. I'm just a Candy fan.
Candy was boring. Candy was boring.
Maybe because she doesn't fight with people. That's why I like her. Yeah, she's so like.
She wasn't even funny though. Like Candy was just. I loved her business out because you guys know I love a dollar. But she just wasn't interesting. How she interacted with her kids was weird to me. How she let her mom do so much stuff and was weird to me. Like
it takes a lot on.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. But it was never really like part of a storyline. It would just like pop up. It wasn't a storyline. You know what I mean? Right. So it made her boring.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, we got more from Candy on Speak On It than we did on the show.
Yeah, and her other show.
I
feel like she's fine. We know that Candy will always do good. She makes a lot of money on her own, but she made Bravo a lot of money. They're gonna miss that because think about all her deals. They get 10% of everything, and without her there now, it's like I think that she thought that she thought that they would chase after her. Maybe $2 million is a lot of freaking money, man. A season. I don't know who else gets close to that on any other franchise. I have to look that up. Maybe a little bit. I mean, that's a lot of money compared to what some of these women make. Well, no Drew, no Simon.
Yeah, I can't. I'm sure. Think about it. Atlanta has to be full of fabulous people.
It has to be. Like, where some of Guerdy is? Like, where's like all the Fallons? I liked Fallon. Where's Fallon?
Yeah, we need some good old hoes. Look, Porsha just pretended to be a thought when Fallon was a wife and really that hoe over there.
They were not mad at each other. They weren't mad. Nobody's mad at anyone. Let's bring her back. Seriously, because we need to do something. I don't know what's going to happen if we don't have, like, we got to stop. We can't go after.
Well, at least we're about to get fabulousness and riches on there again. Because none of those ladies, except for Candy, were even really kind of affluent. Like Ken Where's
I
her
don't.
influence? Like, yeah, she
Where's
has some
she by
businesses, but is
Sheree?
she rolling in dough? I don't think so.
Where
Sanya,
she's
she
done
wasn't
her.
really rich. Having to have your whole family live in the compound means that you
That was
saving money. Um,
hard to
who
watch.
else? Who else is on the show?
By
So yeah,
Sheree.
Candy was the only one that was rich, and now we're about to get PJ, Porsha. Come on now.
She ain't shit by Sheree.
Oh my God, She by Sheree. Please don't bring back Sheree.
No,
I like Sheree on Traders, you guys. That's the
I
only place
forgot
I've
about
been
her.
liking Sheree, and I'm noticing because she doesn't talk a lot.
6 kids.
Six
See,
kids.
a lot of people say that. Boys, you have boys, don't you, Larja?
Yeah, I have two boys from my womb, and then
Yeah.
I have two stepkids too, and help
See,
raise my sister's son.
I
Yeah.
do think boys are easier. Now, I don't have boys, but my friends always had boys first. And the girls, we love the girls, but like I feel like I don't know. If I had my choice to have kids, I would want boys, but I don't.
Yeah.
For that age now.
Yeah, I love my sons for surely. I thought I was gonna have a daughter, but God didn't make me a daughter, Mom. I was picturing braids and nails and shopping sprees. No,
I
these
feel
boys,
so. We only what
I
one
can't
and a half
bear.
episodes left. I don't even know of Atlanta. Like we have what's over. What's let me say? Miami's over next week.
Yeah,
Beverly
and
Riverside
Married to Medicine, Miami, Potomac, and Beverly Hills. Speaking of which,
still all
I
over.
I still don't like Anne Marie, you guys. Everybody was hoping that I was gonna like Anne Marie
Yeah.
after this last episode, and all I can say is that one time of being a nice human.
I mean, she sold me a little bit. A little bit. I
I
mean,
think
and we only have one episode left, and we still haven't gotten it on Kyle about Mauricio. Actually, Mauricio, now it's like making me mad because now I'm like, fine, we can get over Anna Marie because I'm so mad at the fact that we have to have just the finale and the reunion for Kyle to answer to Mauricio's rumors. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
all the
What
games.
was that about? In the preview, it shows them sitting on a couch
That's
talking
it.
about we're still a family.
Because I think the shit comes out of what he did about stealing all that money or not stealing or whatever he did, that millions and millions of dollar things that he frauded. Maybe that's I think what they're gonna fucking talk about and act like they're getting set in that trailer. That trailer we've seen so many times, and there's only one episode left, and we're gonna put all that in the finale, so no resolution to it, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what pisses me off. Like we got Eric. I know that we have to move on to the next season. We can continue taping and see what happens. But we went through this whole season with Kyle not saying shit about why.
Nothing.
Yes, nothing.
Yeah, look, we had to find out about her weird friend. Like, you're right. That is so not okay. Like we
What?
don't even care about her friend. I'm sorry, I didn't know her friend that Esther herself,
Right.
but
No, either.
that shouldn't have been her storyline this year. Her marriage on a Housewives show should have been the storyline.
It was on blast all through social media. Everything that he was doing was on blast, and they did not. I think she literally does have pool to make that not happen. But it makes me mad. That's why they're all mad at her now. Because I'm like, what? There's only one episode left, and we haven't even gotten to the to why they're getting a divorce and not a divorce, or Team Mansky, not Team Mansky. Morgan says, where's the documentary? She's still with Morgan. Did we see her do any documentary? She's a documentarist now. Where?
Is it still happening?
I don't know because we only have one
I
episode
told you they
left.
were playing in our faces. I told you they were playing in our
See?
faces, Krista.
That's what I'm mad at. You're ruining it. I got over Erica a little bit. I'm not harping on her at least. At least. I mean, I feel like I've lost. You win, bravo. Like, I'm not gonna fight you anymore on Erica. Like, you guys win. But like now you gotta fight me on Kyle. Like now I gotta fight you on Kyle? Come on, man. Like I like wave my white flag. I can't and all these years off my life. They're literally just gonna keep her storyline is just gonna get more ridiculous the more they lose in court. And let her be upset. Let her get her apologies. I'm good. I'm waving the white flag. I give up. Now you got to get me with Kyle though. You got to understand why aren't you have Erica's life out there on blast. Why is Kyle's rumors on like everything that we hear about Erica? We have to hear it through what they say, the blogs and stuff. Same thing with Kyle. Like Erica said, you better go in on Kyle. You better to Andy, because they didn't get a chance.
I don't think Erica should have been the one to say that, because Andy never went in on Erica. Every time she asked a question, she couldn't talk about it because it was in court or something. So for her to demand that somebody goes in on her when she's never had a hard question about what she's gone through on the reunion yet.
Yeah, until it's an appeal, then we hear about it. Then we hear all about it. Just saying. But listen, like, it's ridiculous. She thinks she's owed apologies, but whatever at this point. Like I said, I feel like I have to just give up at this point with her. But like, because everything I know about, like, with Tommy Sr., I keep screaming it. Nobody hears me. I'm like, she's screwing Tommy Rizzo. Nobody hears me. She's like, Sutton, you're a great person. The fact that she's giving compliments is even giving me like, okay, all right, it's okay. You can stay, but you gotta get rid of Kyle. You got all right, somebody. I like Crystal. I can deal with Dorito, but again, everybody's mad at Kyle.
No, Dorito, please go. Dorito. Crystal
Baby
can stay. Sutton can stay. Garcelle can stay. I'll even take Anne-Marie one more season.
Yeah.
I think that the Fox 5, all of them need to go. All of them.
Yeah.
Kyle's not being honest. Erica's a fraud. And Dorito, I don't even know if she'll have a house to be in next year. I don't know what's going on over there, because PK got some stuff going on, you guys, as always.
I mean, hey, like, I don't know.
And what's Dorit's storyline anyway?
Baby lover. Love baby love. Like, baby love. Yes, baby love. Baby love. I don't know. He has an affair.
The ideal cast for Beverly Hills. Who do you want to come back?
Yeah, I'm just mad there's one episode left and we have no resolutions of half of the shit. But whatever. Nobody's asked her about her fourth. We have one episode left. I don't know. Nobody's questioning her fourth robbery. We haven't questioned their supposed separation with Dorito. And I'm like, oh my God. And we didn't even question Kyle about why her. And it's not because she's not supporting her. We knew that 10 years ago when the psychic told us exactly what they're saying right now. The psychic told her. She's
yes.
Exactly. He's saying that she flips out. No, we're not. We're not empty nesters. Don't make the psychic right. Basically.
She's not emotionally fulfilled. He will never emotionally fulfill you. That's what she was told.
Because he's weird.
And she's right, because she's sitting there trying to be serious with Mo, and he's laughing at everything.
He thinks it's funny. It's fun. It's fun to go to treatment and not talk about
no emotional connection. He's just like, yeah, sure, whatever, hun. And you could tell he's just trying to appease her. He just don't want to fight. Yeah, sure.
We love each other, honey. We absolutely love each other. Hold my hand. And it's like she does her confessional. Basically, whatever she does in her confessional, she should be saying to him. And like she said, I don't want to have to wait to therapy to say what I have to say to you, which because he's not paying attention. He's on camera. I imagine what he does off camera. If this is how ignorant he is on camera, imagine how it is off camera with the things that he requests from his.
I don't know. I feel like, and I kind of feel like this is what Housewives end up happening too. So you're the dutiful housewife. You make sure his career, he makes it 100 offices across the world. And you're so proud of him. He's at work, and you're shopping. And now you got 5 minutes to yourself, and you can still shop, and he's still at work, but now it's a problem.
I know. That's what's like bothering me. Like, why now?
Exactly.
She's grossed out.
It's the same exact setup. You could still call your kids. You could still go hang out with your daughters and your good Sallies. So why now do you need all of his attention?
Because she's got all those shows and great ideas. Like, great. He goes, all your, great ideas for your shows. I'm opening 30 offices a month. It's like, you motherfucker. Good for you, you weirdo. Grossed out. You have a girlfriend in every city? Imagine how busy he must be to open 30 offices a month or 99 offices a month, whatever he said, all around the world. He sits with her and shops and has fun waiting for the therapist. Like, wow. It's like, now we know why they're getting a divorce and why she will probably stay with him, because obviously, like you said, this really hasn't changed. Nothing's really changed. She's just maybe I don't know, maybe something's like finally clicking or being like, I don't have a storyline, so I need to use my marriage now
Yeah.
because people are sick of me, and I now have to be for me because last year she didn't side for her sister. So we're like, Kyle, you're a snake and a liar. This year you're
Yeah.
gonna make it bad for you.
I know in
But
relationships it's really hard for women when we don't feel heard.
I get it. No, I get that too. And I thought about
Yeah.
that. I said, wait a
Yeah.
minute, he is a man. My husband does the same thing, and I have to remember that they're not as deep as we are. And they might not mean to be dismissive and
Mm-hmm.
you
Their
know,
capacity to like they just want to fix stuff too. So sometimes
yeah,
you come with your blah blah blah, and if they can't think of a solution, then they turn off because they can't help, you know. But
yep,
also still hear us. Like
they
I
yeah,
literally don't feel heard at times, and I'll just say, nobody's listening. Is anybody hearing me? You know, it's really important in a relationship, and that was kind of hard to
it is,
see Kyle say so clearly what she like. As women, we got it, and
right.
then his daft man ass is like,
He doesn't
and we were like,
understand.
oh girl, every woman in America probably and in the world was like, ooh,
Yeah,
we know that feeling.
yep. And I had to think about that. I'm like, is she right? Or like, she is right there. Okay, everything she's saying is very valid. But then I'm like, maybe it's just like every other man who just he's trying to understand, but he's gonna get to a point when his wife's gonna leave him over it, you know? Because I feel like there's times where he doesn't understand. Like, I know I'm never gonna leave George, but like when I feel unheard, there's times where I'm like, I'm gonna leave you, and then you're gonna realize how listening to me was important. You know what I mean? I do see wives leave their husbands over that shit. So it's like I don't know if we just supposed to accept the fact that they just don't understand us. Like we're from Venus, they're from Mars. You know what I mean? Like, but it is very, very, very fucking important because you do feel extremely dismissed. And the way he was talking seemed very dismissive about her not having all her careers. I mean, she has a career, she's rich and she is famous by being a housewife on the show. But I don't know of any other things. Everything she's had, Kathy's crushed it. Her books are Kathy's like, no. Her show, Kathy didn't like it. Like her family doesn't accept anything. You got him opening all these offices. She's not allowed to film with him when he's doing his reality show, which probably set her off last season too, or last year, because somehow Bravo or whatever, she wasn't allowed to be where he was while he was filming his reality show. And the man has also, committed some kind of serious fraud.
Speaking of that
Huh?
is one thing that Porsha got written into her contract, allegedly, is for her to return. She gets to do whatever she wants, wherever she wants, y'all. They can't stop
Really?
her bags anywhere else, allegedly.
Do they really try to do that shit? That's crazy.
Oh,
Do they want
yeah.
to?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I do feel like her and Simon love each other, and I feel like I'm glad to have her back. And I feel like I don't want. You're not going to sell me on the storyline of something he did in 1980 if it's not relevant now. If he's not hiding anything now, and everybody's okay with him being here, and he's legally here, fine,
Yeah.
great. I'm not worried about it. I'm not perfect either. I don't have my it's not exactly in line either. Like
And
the
if it
three-letter
wasn't a problem when he was married to Fallon, right? And if it wasn't a problem when he was married to Fallon, then it's not a problem while he's married to Porsha.
Those three-letter agencies, they can say whatever, if they don't bother him now, it's like, not everybody's does everything right all the time. And if it was 1980, he's obviously successful now somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And we would have found out. Whatever he did, do a deep dive on it. I'm not really interested if it's not really affecting him now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't
And
think
if
it should.
Portia's not currently profiting off of it, like
Right.
all that stuff happened over a decade ago, before she married him. I would appreciate it if people stopped acting like she has something to worry about with it, or making it like, oh, she's a fraud too, or a lot of clickbaiting is happening right now.
It's a bad deal for her. I mean, it's called. Well, I mean, I don't think Porsha is dumb. I don't think she would get bad information.
No. Porsha, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
no, Porsha didn't do the 3. She did the contract that does not prevent her from doing everything.
Yeah, good. And like I'm saying, I don't think she's getting bad advice from her lawyers, whatever she did. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure she had a long talk with a lot of lawyers and a lot of Bravo
right.
people. And
her money's long enough now.
Yeah.
Right?
She seems to do everything right so far. So, I mean, I don't think she's getting any bad advice from anyone. But again, like, not everybody's perfect. Look at, like, Kenya married somebody who was not a great person either. And,
Right.
she's
And Sheree was literally waiting for a convict to come from a halfway house to meet her for coffee, you guys.
what a dumbass, too, of him, though. What kind of thing? You can just set up like that and you screw it up. You're in prison, dude. You get a husband, a wife who loves you, waited for you, who's rich, on a show. He don't know her. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got you got a mansion to come home to, and you screw that up, my man. That's like weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand people like on like Love After Lockup. Why would you get this? I don't know any prisoner. I didn't have no set up wait for me, the rich person, a reality TV show, a fake person or somebody I'm using for money, whatever they do. But they get this whole setup and then they screw it up. It blows my mind. You're the luckiest motherfucking criminals I've ever met in my life. You're the luckiest guy I've met in my damn life. You get this whole setup, screw it up and you get out. And they blows my mind. I'm like, Sheree, what did you do, Sheree? How did you can't even get the felon to stay with you. It's crazy. I don't know what he did, but like I knew he picked her over, but I don't know he did something else. They broke up, and I knew he did something messed up. And then Martel, like I didn't even know when that was happening. I didn't know what the big deal was. I'm like, he's cute. What's wrong with him? I had no idea.
Crazy.
I didn't know what I didn't know. I know now.
I appreciate you having me up, beautiful.
Thank you.
You coming back Wednesday? What are you talking about on Wednesday?
What is today?
Monday? President's Day.
President's Day. Vanderpump.
Vanderpump is Wednesday. Okay, I'll pop through.
I'm gonna have to look at the schedule, see what's coming up, because I can't talk the other franchise because I found out I'm allergic to shellfish. So
right.
But we'll have to look at the schedule.
To figure it out, girl.
Oh, right. Thank you for coming up in this one now too.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Have a great day, everybody. Smash the buttons.
Smash all our buttons, please. All of us, guys. Thank you I like this. It was a good live. I'm glad that we talked about all the franchises, and because I'm a little concerned. I'm excited for some and concerned for others, but I feel like maybe we're going in the right direction with conflict resolution. Everybody needs. I said this last year. They need to take a page out of Miami's book when they rallied around Lisa to begin with. When the Lenny stuff happened. It seems like they do care enough about each other to forget the stuff that's going on. And look, I think that with Potomac, I don't even want to talk about it because I feel like for Potomac to be successful, we got to get rid of Slob and Giselle because they're creating too many problems for the people that are good on the show. Like the stuff with Nneka. Nneka went in so hard because I feel like she had the backing of people that didn't have her best interest, like Robin, to go after, and she took the bait. And unfortunately, she's having a hard time getting it back. But look, like I was so against Anna Marie too, but like I feel like at this point they got to make this shit work because I want my shows back. I'm getting excited watching Miami, and I feel like I'll deal with Erica if you're throwing her in her face. I'm just gonna call her out, and we'll have conflict resolution, and everybody will be happy, and I won't have to lose any years off my life. No more Jen Shadow. All right, guys, love you guys. Oh my God, so much going on. So much going on. Did you guys hear about the Bo Dietl stuff? Just Google it. I'm not laughing. I promise. I'm not laughing. It's not funny. Bye. I love you guys. So bad.